after work to say, oh, I got pneumonia, I'll be all right.
Kind of sick of the way. She was good as a tower right there.
Oh, you got the wrong color on. I think you got the right color on, but you got the wrong color on. What's that about? Got where you're going, huh?
They're wearing like a gray uniform now, huh? The Greenville, Green Devil. Gray and green.
You know?
Did our personnel make it down?
What's up, man? What's happening?
Yeah.
You guys doing all right today?
So far,
Hey.
game hadn't started
Get all
yet.
set up? Everything good to go?
Like it.
You're not up top in the rain, so that's a little bit better than up there?
Well, we were going to set up there, but we thought, let's go with.
I think this is a good spot. This is to get a good view of the field and everything else.
Yeah, I mean,
Braves are 0-0 right now in the 6th inning.
Oh, gosh. One-run game.
six, really.
Thank you for the things.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
That really made his birthday special. That was awesome.
Glad to help you.
Do you guys have any problems coming up?
No, not really, except my phone directed me to Hal Hayward, Jim,
Oh.
because we played that basketball
It's because
tournament.
that's where everyone the basketball
But for
games are.
whatever reason, my phone.
At least it's not too far away.
Yeah. That was just funny to me because I knew. So that's the elementary school. I know that it was not the high school. So.
But we're doing a major renovation, so next time you guys are up here, this is some of our work for this, after this season, we're putting in new turf, and then we're putting in a video screen up behind the visitor side on that side.
right.
It'll be 28 by, it's 32 by 28. So we'll hopefully get everything ready so the next time you guys are up here, it'll look a little bit better.
Just don't tell us too bad.
I don't think it's going to be like that. I think you guys have got a lot of really great athletes. We haven't played anybody who has speed like you guys have speed. We have speed, but you guys have speed too. So I think it's going to be all right.
Now you all, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
I recognize you. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm in the
and you were talking about this thing. I'm like,
Yeah. So I think we're going to be. We're one of those teams that we're just as likely to score from 80 yards out as we are from 8. And so just.
I told Sean, I said, I'm pretty sure Greenville is the team that knocks Hayward County out of the playoffs every year.
Last year we went down there. Ready to go back down?
You got late. I was gonna be down
Last year we went down there.
But I had that little pole. Yeah. That's ain't right in my way. Like,
And
oh,
they should
gonna kill me by my ear.
They just dropped.
That's the one thing we thought.
Really?
Beat them. And it was just like, you know, Oak Ridge, whenever you Campbell County,
Right, yeah.
sometimes Campbell
It's all
County's better than we
mental,
are,
yeah.
they just can't get over beaten.
That's the only reason.
That's what it is.
That ball goes down
So,
my.
yeah, I thought we were going to go down there and just
camera.
like that.
Yeah.
I can't
First
see
half,
nothing.
it looked like we
Whole
really
game.
just couldn't mentally get our heads around
Yeah.
the fact that they were better.
Right.
And then they were out.
Yeah.
Sorry. Listen, well, you guys have a good safe trip
Appreciate
and
it.
game, and
Good seeing you.
I love this guy. Miss this guy.
Up here in Greenville. Wow. Cool. I knew you all knew him. I kept saying, I don't know who that is.
Students love it. I mean, love it.
Yeah, you were never in trouble. So. This one probably was in trouble.
Nah.
I didn't get in trouble at all.
No, he was just very hands-on with the
He was,
students.
yeah, he was. Yeah, he was very personable with the students. And he would tweet out and everything. I mean,
He would come.
obsessed with it.
He came to games at least. Full of just all kinds of stuff.
I
Really
I
great, Dave.
Nice.
He really appreciated it. I know that. He just said that. That was great.
When is Coach Gaddis' niece's name? I
Yeah,
got
he's here.
played in.
I guess I'm gonna go down there and film some stuff.
Are you not doing pregame?
You mean pregame?
What?
gonna give you this.
What's it
And
for?
spending money. I'm giving it to you.
Okay.
I wanted you to have it.
For our group?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Most definitely.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're
No,
very welcome.
not because I said a minute ago.
No, listen, I was going to give it to you before you said anything. I brought it just to give to you tonight. I didn't know you needed money. But you got something.
Christian Layer, so. What?
What'd he say?
They have a menu you can pick what you want.
Oh,
Well,
really?
give us one.
Get what you
We're not
want.
gonna use it. I use it, yeah.
You got $100 to spend. You're very welcome.
Your name will
Glad to
stay
do
on
it.
Channel 15.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know,
I see it every time. I thought, they still got my name up there.
Well,
I didn't even give me any money.
You contribute every once in a while.
I try to. All right, you got your favorite beverage.
If you ask
Oh,
Roger,
Dr. Pepper.
if Roger saw me, Roger Mitchell, if he
Yeah,
saw
I know
me
you.
drinking this, he'd think, his mind would go crazy because he knows how.
Drink Diet Coke.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, he's a funny guy, I tell you. I want you to know, I got to tell you something. Yesterday, I've been having a terrible time with my left leg, having trouble walking and stuff. And I went to my regular doctor about 10 days ago. He said, oh, you got tendonitis. Didn't give me nothing. About 3 days later, it hurt me so bad, I called my orthopedic doctor, Dr. Randall. But I couldn't see him, so I had to go see a Dr. Wilson that worked with me.
Yeah.
And he diagnosed me as having a torn tibialis muscle.
Do I just take it down there?
The tibia muscle that runs right up through here.
Yeah.
And he gave me, he called me in this prescription of cream to put on my leg. And I swear, I thought I was going to cry. I had to walk a lot at work when I came home.
Yeah.
And I had to change out a light bulb and get up on a ladder, and then I had to go around the house and put up the grill and grill some burgers. And I come back in, I go, man, I'm dying, I'm miserable. So I made another appointment, and I went yesterday. And he tells me he thinks I have a stretch fracture. I'm pretty sure it is. I got it bandaged up.
How'd you do it?
On my front porch, there's a step off that it's brick, okay, and within the porch. I mean, it's beautiful. It's really made well.
Yeah.
But the riser, when you step up, is 11 inches, and a normal step is 9 inches.
Oh, really?
Well, I was blowing it off. You know, I had mowed the grass and weed eated, and you know, there's a lot of debris on the front porch where Ann has her plants, and I get up there with a blower and I blow it off. Well, when I went to step off of that thing, I stumbled a little bit, and I kind of caught myself, and I slammed my leg into that concrete.
Really?
And that's when I did it. I'm pretty sure that's when I did it. So I got to go have an MRI. Sometime they're going to schedule it. I mean, but I'm pretty sure I got it. And that's why I'm sitting down. If you think I'm being lazy, I'm not. It was hurting from walking all the way there, all the way up this step.
Wow.
And I hope you don't mind me sitting most of the night.
Why would I mind?
Well, because somebody doesn't have a chair because of me. That's what I'm trying to explain
That would
to
be
you.
James. He's young.
Yeah, he is. He's a lot younger. But listen to this. I was bragging to Ian here. Ran track, played softball, volleyball. Never broke a bone. And now I think I broke one.
I think we'll put 3 on our sideline, and none of them get faces. None.
I'll talk to Neil about that.
Is Neil gonna feel awkward over there? Okay.
Neil's not one to feel awkward and stuff like that.
Okay. Mike stole your chair.
Sorry. Listen,
What?
I got dials stealing.
Have you missed me for a week? Is that why you just walk up on me like that? That's what I thought.
James, the reason I'm sitting is I was telling David, yesterday I got diagnosed with a slip and stress fracture in my tibia.
Are you serious?
I'm having a terrible time standing and walking.
That's awful.
Forgive me if I see a lot tonight. Yeah, it is awful.
I hate to hear that.
I got an MRI scheduled next week, and they're going to treat me, but I don't know. It's
My mom's having to like get an MRI next week as well.
really, what's wrong with her?
She thinks she tore something. So,
Oh, man. Golly, it's early and they're already here. I believe they like their football game. I'm not in your way.
No, not yet.
Well, just tell me to get out of the way.
Oh, I will.
I figured
I'm good.
you. Just checking everybody out. You got their line up?
Yeah, you can have that after the end
Yeah,
of the game.
thank you.
I'm going to talk about that at the.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I like basketball. Hey, they're getting started. November the 18th.
Yeah.
It's Min County. Are you going to the Bahamas?
They had to cancel that trip.
Oh no.
They won't let. They won't. The school board won't let them because of COVID leave the country.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah, it does.
You know, I was leery of that. I really was. I was kind of leery of that. That might happen. I like to see Alcoa on there.
Yeah, home and away.
Good. You know I'm going to sponsor that Fulton game, right?
Yeah.
All right, put it on the list, man. 'Cause I'm going to give you another $150.
You don't have to do that.
You have to, I will.
Well, thank you.
I have to do anything.
And the girls are going back to Greenville.
Oh,
So-
to the tournament? Oh, man.
Yeah, and Phoenix. The girls are going to Phoenix again too.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Are they going to be any good this year, you
They,
think? Boy.
they will be eventually. The girls will. They always Watersfield girls.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they won the state championship.
Yeah.
They are good. I forgot about that. I really had. I forgot. That slipped my mind. Wow. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
So Andy, you like doing this? It's easy, isn't it? We deliberately put you inside here so you
That's
wouldn't
awesome.
get wet just in case. So, because James said, we mean to mess with you, that you were crying about getting wet. And that's why you asked if you were going to be inside or what. And you know James, he's going to pick on you. Wait. Does he have a nickname for you? What's he? Oh. I guess he has a nickname for everybody.
What does he call me, the wild man? I hope.
He does. Actually, he called you something else the other day. Mustacheless Mike.
Oh, that's a new name, all right.
Yeah.
It definitely is. Mustacheless Mike.
Yeah.
Well, he's clever, isn't he? I
Yeah.
gotta give him credit for that. That's the first time I've heard that. Mustache was mine. Hell, I've had it all my life. I really have. All my, bearded growth life anyway.
Yeah, and you just decided to get rid of it.
Yeah, I just decided I was tired of fooling with it, and I just cut it off. I might have to get a wild hair and grow it back.
Thank you.
James, I got to give you credit. David just told me something I'd never heard before.
Oh,
That
gosh.
you had a new nickname for me.
Mustache.
Was mine. I said, that's very clever. I thank you for that.
Oh my
Very
God,
clever.
look at that hot dog.
Wait, what game was that? Was it Lenore City? I think I noticed.
It was.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know.
Yeah, because we were talking about. I think we were talking about that game, and I think Coach Lee said like you have one basically all your adult life.
Yeah, I have. That's what I just telling Dave about. Ever since I've been able to grow a mustache, I've had it. And I just got tired of it, I know. My 72nd birthday was coming up. I thought, I need a change, man. I need a change. So I did.
That's good.
Your beard's really coming in good.
Well, I need to shave. I haven't shaved in about a month,
Looks pretty good.
so I like to grow it out first and then trim it up after that.
During,
Who I go to?
during the bicentennial in 1976,
Yeah.
first time I ever grew a beard. And my hair, believe it or not, was kind of an auburn red. And my beard, man, it grew. It was really, really grew. And then basketball season rolled around. I was still playing basketball then.
Yeah.
And the sweat kept dripping out of my beard. And I said, this thing's too hot for me. But it was that yay long.
I can't wear them in the summer.
Oh, I can see that.
It's
They get hot.
my tradition is the week of the Jefferson game.
Oh,
I
yeah.
usually stop shaving.
Oh, really? Okay. It's kind of a tradition, man.
My own little personal tradition.
Hey, if you guys ever get a chance on the way up here, I know David like pulling teeth and getting to stop to eat. But there's a place called Harvest. Have you ever seen it on the way up here?
What's it called?
Harvest,
I
Harvest.
haven't.
It's like a big log cabin looking thing.
Okay.
A log. And they serve the best homemade type food. Catfish. I had the baked spaghetti tonight. It was one. Everything on their menu is really good. Becky had country fried steak. Everything's really good. You ever get a chance to eat there, Harvest?
I got a friend request from Ann the other day. Your Ann on Facebook. Is she on Facebook?
Yeah, every now and then. Not much, but every now and then.
I wonder if it was real then. Sometimes people get hacked.
You got a request?
A friend request, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dadgum, I didn't know that. I think it was probably an accident. She probably did it. I don't know. She don't get on there much. She does some.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw that. Ann Sheehan. I was like, that's
That's
interesting.
weird.
Yeah.
I bet she didn't. I want to show you something right quick. I want you to look at this plant she's growing. That's an angel trumpet.
Yeah, she had that picture on there. I saw it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Look at this, James. It's an angel trumpet.
That's pretty cool.
That thing smells so good.
I bet
Oh
it
my
does.
God. But they say that
Mr. McDonald told us earlier.
he said they hadn't played anybody with speed.
So he said it won't be as bad as you think it
I hope he's right.
I'm
too.
saying capital UGL, and I hate to say that.
Oh, I know.
Well, hopefully the offense will be.
You're just being realistic. I appreciate you being realistic.
I mean, I watched them all week.
Yeah.
And if they haven't played anybody fast, they are fast.
Yeah, he said they're fast.
They're fast.
He said, you're fast, we haven't played anybody
Yeah.
fast yet.
Yeah. If we could get some first down, we'll keep it close for a while.
Yeah.
But we just need to get some first down.
That's the key. Keep the defense off the
Yeah.
ball.
need to get some first
They're
down.
only running 5 plays tonight.
Well, that's not what I saw, but I hope you're right.
Yeah. Well,
I hope you're right. But for me, they were coming pretty
really.
in 1 week, in 4 or 5 days. It takes a spring and a summer to install an offense.
And the offense that we installed didn't work, so. I mean,
Right.
yeah, so.
So they just had to totally, and I mean, they're using new, everything's new for this school. Terminology, everything.
I like the fact that Bourbon's going to be on the line now.
I hope. I hope.
This is from a
I hope.
father of a defensive
I hope.
coordinator. He's afraid to get Bourbon hurt.
If he's hurt, he's hurt.
Yeah.
We're done. If it hurt, he don't care if they get first
But
down.
we need him. We need him. We don't win it when we score.
Is he gonna play on the line, did you say?
He's gonna play tight
He's
end.
gonna play tight.
Tight end.
Yeah, well,
You're tight end on this team?
How's your break going so far, buddy?
he said, yeah, I agree.
That's what we want. That's what we want to be there. Yeah.
But they wanted Garrett Osborne to be there. But he's the fourth team tight end. He says he's not aggressive, he won't do anything. So it's Bourbon, Kelly, I can't remember the third one, and he's the fourth.
Andy Hudson?
No, definitely not. Marcus Melton is
Yeah.
yeah.
Marcus might actually be good there.
So
I mean, I don't blame them for, but
Shaking things up.
if they're just gonna use him as a blocker, we got somebody that can do it.
well, Coach Adams says he has hooves for hands, so that's what he said. Hooves for hands.
Who's
but
that?
Bourbon.
So he's like Baldwin.
Maybe.
He's an athlete.
But we're not John used to catch the ball, right? You catch the ball like this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like you trap it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's no like cushioning the ball.
Oh yeah. Enos Crowley.
Did you talk to them about their spacing?
Yes.
Because I noticed Neo and Drew were in
I wonder where we are at.
I think you guys might be at the
Oh
top.
good. Okay. Good.
So like if you go out the door
Yeah.
here,
Yeah. Good.
just right up around the corner there. Yeah, you too.
See you, Tommy.
Good luck, coach. I know I say this every time.
What's that?
I know I say this every time, but you cannot find a better guy.
Andy Hudson?
No, Andy's kind of a jerk.
Okay.
It's okay.
I'm gonna call. You know what he says? He says, I don't want to ruin it. He says you're his favorite Hudson.
Does that surprise you? See, but see, I only knew Brady. I had Brady for 2 years. No, I only had Brady for 1. But then I had Riley for 3. And then, this thing.
This thing.
Luckily, we get another year with him now. I don't know if he thinks he's lucky, but I think we're lucky.
You are, yeah.
They're getting the stream already. Is it winter?
They did talk about the guy. Well, they did talk about the guy Yes, they talk about they talk about how he was good at exactly.
I think one of those guys
Looks a little outside.
Dizzy Dean.
Yeah, I remember these.
But it was funny they talked about
Yeah, but what happened to you? Where do you tell?
some of them. Just got beat or they killed us. Like using us and we. And they talk about like other. They talk about other guys like Ledford who were just like right down the middle, like, and dude, what's the national champ? I'll be like one buzzer beater or whatever. Yeah, so congratulations, dude, you had a great seat, right? Right down the middle.
Hey, John.
If I yell, I'll get married.
I like how very same. It's the same and after the game, like one of the players like other guys or something.
Two weeks in a row, actually.
yeah.
And I was telling everybody that he did a yeah, David's phone blew up. I swear I did not say that. You know how you got
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. This is mic number 1. Mic number 1. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Somebody's got to, right?
Testing mic 2, testing 1 2 3, testing 1, testing 1 2 3.
Where's the, what do we do with the wireless one? You have the wireless one? Yeah, maybe that one.
Testing 1 2 3. Good job. That's for all your hard work. Hello. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is the wireless one that we'll use after the game. Hello, hello.
Do we have any specific instructions? Test, 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 test. Test. Test, 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 test.
Yes.
Okay.
What do you?
What? I don't.
355. Mike, am I in your way?
No, you're fine. No,
I like-
I'm not.
I like
you
this
can, you
place.
can just kick me if you need to.
I like
Right.
this place. I think we should come up here every year.
It's a really cool.
Yeah, it is.
Little scenery back behind it, backdrop. Like that's really pretty.
Yeah, yeah. I told Andy that the only reason we put the camera in here because he was whining about getting wet.
Yeah, he didn't want to be by himself.
He's a pretty boy. You think he's gonna melt in the rain?
Andy, you know you could bring a friend up here if you wanted to, right?
Good thing you weren't at West High School 2 years ago. We got soaked.
315.
Okay.
I mean, it came a monsoon.
Are they all graduating? Are they all graduating? Their band uniforms look like graduation gowns. I like them. Maybe that's their rain ones. I like their band uniforms.
Of course, you would know that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise for the Greenville High School on the line and remain standing for the national anthem. to be performed by the Greenville High School Band for the direction of drum majors Andy Wallen and Brendan Swift. The colors tonight are being presented by the Greenville High School Junior ROTC.
Our national anthem here from Greenville, Tennessee. Greenville High School getting set for Oak Ridge High School football. The Wildcats taking on the Green Devils for the first time since 1991, and our first time to come to play at Greenville High School since 1947, James Branson. The last time that we came up here to play, the single-wing tailback was Sammy Hurt. B.B. Hopkins was on the team, and that was a long, long time ago. We played them in 47 and 48, James, but then fast forward, we didn't play them again until that 1991 season, the playoff ball game at Blankenship Field. And, of course, the Wildcats 3 weeks later won the state championship. I love the place. I've fallen in love with it. I hope we come back again.
Yeah, David, it's a great view here. You've got it kind of set against the backdrop of Greenville, the city of Greenville. You got a nice little picturesque sunset in the background. You got some rolling hills in the background. It's a really great atmosphere here for some Friday night football.
We're a few minutes away from the start of this game. The Wildcats are getting ready to come out on the field here. Here come the Green Devils first. They are going to be wearing their all-gray jerseys with very dark green numerals. The Wildcats will be wearing their white jerseys with gray pants and cardinal numerals. James Branson, you've got the starting lineups.
Starting for the Wildcats tonight, on defense, number 59, J.K. Morgan. Number 70, Zach Snyder. Number 77, Ethan Hewitt. Those are all defensive linemen for the Wildcats tonight. Your linebacking core includes number 33, Brian Kelly. Number 1, Kendall Jackson at outside linebacker. Middle linebacker is Jacob Burvin, number 38. Number 12, Marcus Melton is another outside linebacker for the Wildcats. The secondary includes number 17, Jaden Williams, and number 13, Brandon Hayward, who are your starting safeties. Number 14, Elijah Rogers, and number 3, Justin Crowley, are your starting defensive backs. On offense for the Wildcats, you will have number 38, Jacob Burvin at tight end, number 7, Jai Hunley at running back. Your receivers for the Wildcats are Brandon Hayward, number 13, number 14, Elijah Rogers, and your offensive line for the Wildcats, number 75, center Walker Rice. Left guard is J.K. Morgan. Left tackle is Ethan Hewitt. Right guard is Zach Snyder. and right tackle is Sam Bentley. Your running backs also include Kendall Jackson, and your starting quarterbacks for the Wildcats, number 8, Hayden Tarwater.
Hey, James, we got to talk about this. The Wildcats have a new offensive coordinator as of tonight. Chad Hodge is going to take over the play calling duties for the Wildcats. The Wildcats have changed their offense this week in practice. They haven't had a whole lot of time to get ready for maybe the best team in the state of Tennessee, but Coach Gaddis felt that the offense was just not getting it done, and they went for the change, and we're going to see how things play out here tonight.
Yeah, David, absolutely. And from what it looks like in our starting lineups, it looks like the Wildcats are going to have what are called 21 personnel, which is 2 running backs as well as a tight end. So your running backs probably are going to be either I formation or one in front of the other, or one next to the quarterback, one behind if we're in shotgun. Splitting the quarterback either way. Jacob Bervin is going to be your tight end. He's probably going to be to the strong side, but that doesn't necessarily mean they will always run to that side. They could obviously run to the weak side. And trying to get it out into space maybe to some of those receivers might create a little separation from the line of scrimmage there.
The Green Devils will be receiving the opening kickoff, and we're about to get set here from Greenville, Tennessee. As I mentioned, we haven't played them since 1991. They are the number 1 ranked team in the state of Tennessee in their classification. They are 7-0, winners of the 2017-2018 state championship. This program has been on a roll.
Yeah, David, you mentioned the 2 state championships. You also think back to last season when they lost to Elizabethton, I believe, in the semifinals or quarterfinals. And, before that, when Central was on a roll for those couple of years there, they played Central very tough. And I think Central ended up having a Hail Mary one year to beat them to send Central to the semifinals or to the state championship.
Brennan Pearson's about to kick off for the Wildcats. He'll be kicking from right to left. What do you think of the facilities up here, James?
It's a really nice facility. You see that it's a little bit older stadium, but they've done a lot of upgrades. Actually, the press box is really nice. It's 2-tiered. Actually, it's 3-tiered. You have the lower restroom level, you have our level that we're on, and they actually have a roof where we can film on. It's a really nice setting. They got some hedges around it. It's, like you said, very, very beautiful.
I was talking to Mr. McDonald, Martin McDonald, the principal of Greenville High School, former principal at Oak Ridge High School, and I said to him, why don't we keep this going, because I like coming up here. We'll see how it goes after the ball game, though, whether we want to continue to play them. But hopefully the Wildcats will have something to give these number 1 Green Devils. Here's the kick by Brennan. It's a line drive end over end kick. It's going to be fielded at the 1, to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, to the 45-yard line. Nothing fancy, straight up the gut there. Junior Adams and company there for the stop for the Wildcats. He's got a lot of speed. I mean, he got the ball and just shot like a missile from the goal line all the way up to the Green Devil 45-yard line.
Yeah, David, he had a nice little hole right in the middle of the field there for a running lane. A little bit of an issue with the kick. I don't think that Brennan Pearson got all that he wanted to on that one.
Brady Quillen is the quarterback for the Green Devils. They have 3 receivers split to the right, 3-man front for the Wildcats. Hand off to the running back, and he's going to move the ball forward for a gain of 11 yards. He brings the ball across the midfield stripe, straight up the gut running, and moves the ball up to the 45-yard line of Oak Ridge, and that should be enough for the first down of the ball game.
First down of the ball game, and it looks like that Greenville wants to go pretty quick as they basically flip the formation here.
3 receivers this time to the left 3-yard gain. Look down the field, obviously pretty good coverage down the field for the Wildcats. It'll be a gain of about 1 yard. We'll call it second down, 9 yards to go here from Greenville.
Great coverage in the back end there by the secondary of the Wildcats, David.
They are going with tempo here. The Wildcats showing blitz once again. And here comes the handoff, and the ball carrier is dropped at the 40-yard line. They've got a really, really fine running back. Number 2 for them, that is Mason Gudger. He has really put up some big yardage, and they are going really quickly. I can't even get you in here, James.
Oh, I know, David. He's pretty quick, and their offense is as well.
Third down, 5 yards to go. Here comes the Wildcats once again showing blitz. Hand off to the back, and he is going to be arm tackled, but he picks up a first down. Tackled at around the 35-yard line by, looks like either Marcus Melton or Kendall Jackson and Ethan Hewitt. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go for the Green Devils at the Oak Ridge 34-yard line.
Really nice job there by Ethan coming from his defensive end position just to get an arm there on Gudger. As you said, he's pretty quick. Ethan kind of slung him down there. Unfortunately, it was after the chains.
90 seconds into the ball game, they have advanced the ball to the Oak Ridge 34-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. Quillen at quarterback. Going to pass, fires a pass. It's going to be caught. Oh, nice move. Down the field, 10-5 into the end zone. That is a touchdown. What a move he put on our number 7 there. Just a little bit of a spin there, and it's a touchdown.
Yeah, David, you're absolutely right. I believe Jaden Williams was the one there in coverage, and Jaden had him dead to rights there right at the line of scrimmage, I believe. Just got to keep pursuing that near hip and try to tackle here as you hear the fireworks going off in the background. Just continue to pursue and continue to tackle there and make that stop at the line of scrimmage as opposed to a bigger play.
And up to the line once again. They'll come for the extra point. Ball is down. The kick is up. And the kick, it is good. 7-0 Greenville. We'll take a break. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
I don't remember. I couldn't see it.
Physical activity, number 7.
Yes. James.
Brady Quinn.
Welcome back once again to Greenville, Tennessee, getting set for the Green Devil kickoff. The Wildcats, who have struggled offensively, fall behind in this one, 7-0. Greenville poised to kick off. It's a little pop-up kick, very short. It's going to be fielded by the Wildcats at the 35-yard line, and immediately down goes the Wildcats' Junior Adams right at the 34-yard line. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats, moving right to left. And our first look at the offense, which will be led now by the new offensive coordinator, Chad Hodge.
Yeah, David, and just going back to that kickoff there, you know, Wildcat fans probably have seen something similar to that much of last year. Greenville, for whatever reason, was not very quick on the coverage and allowed Junior to catch that. I would like to see Junior, if they're going to continue to do that, fair catch that in the future, kind of save himself.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 35-yard line. Hayden Tarwater is the quarterback of the Wildcats. 2 receivers split to the left, 1 lone man to the left. That is Brandon Hayward. Wildcats from the shotgun, 1 lone running back for the Wildcats. Here comes the snap. The handoff goes straight up the middle for about a yard. And carrying the football was, I believe, number 1, Kendall Jackson. He gains a yard. It'll bring up for the Wildcats. Second down, 9 yards to go. One of the things, James, the Wildcats want to do is control the ball. They don't want, obviously we saw Greenville's offense just able to move the ball up and down the field. They've got to control the ball. They've got to get first downs. They got to make it a short game if they have any chance to win this ball game.
Yeah, David, you're absolutely right. And we've already seen how quick
Rogers down. He lost his footing right at around the 44-yard line. He might have taken that all the way in. Really, really nice run there by Kendall Jackson.
You're absolutely right. As Kendall was able to get to the outside edge there against this Greenville defense and show his speed and the athleticism that he continues to have, just fell down just a little bit, but wish he could have picked up the first down.
Wildcats with receivers Brandon Hayward to the right, Rogers to the right, just activated and eligible last week in the Powell ball game. Hayden Tarwater is the quarterback. The Wildcats also have Xavier James in the ball game. The Wildcats have Kendall Jackson. The Wildcats third down, 1 yard to go, 4-man front for Greenville. And here's the handoff to Kendall. He is met at the line, pushed back. I think he will not get the first down. He was pushed right at the line of scrimmage. He'll be about 7 inches short.
A little bit of a trickeration there by the Wildcats as they send, I believe it was Elijah Rogers in motion to try to draw maybe a defender or two or check and see what defense that they were in. Wildcats, Tarwater ran triple option there, gave the dive to Kendall, but I believe he might have had a little bit more room outside, so look for the Wildcats coming out of later in the game.
Punt formation for the Wildcats, Brian Kelly, Jacob Bourbon to do the honors for the Wildcats. 4th and less than a yard to go. The ball is at their own 44-yard line, a football away from a first down. Wildcats trailing 7-0. Good snap. It goes to Jacob Bourbon. He punts it. high end over and kick. It's going to take a nice Oak Ridge bounce. It's going to roll inside the 15-yard line, and it'll be downed by the Wildcats, Darren Osborne, right around the 14-yard line. And that is where Greenville will have it. First down and 10 yards to go.
Yeah, a little bit of an unorthodox kick there by Jacob Irvin as he rolled out to his right. A little bit of a rugby-style kick to try to get that end over end. He kind of rolls that way. Luckily for the Wildcats, the ball kind of checked up just a little bit right at the 14-yard line and kind of bounced up and down right there before it was downed.
It'll be for the Green Devils. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball, as I mentioned, at the 14-yard line. Quarterback rolls to his right. Lots of trouble. He is going to be sacked at the 1-yard line. Great pursuit there by the Wildcats. The Wildcats came in, Ethan Hewitt and one other Wildcat. I believe it was Brian Kelly. Down he goes at the 2-yard line. Big loss on the play.
Great job there by Brian Kelly as he was able to keep contained on the outside. He did not bite on the fake to Gudger, and as the quarterback rolled to his side, obviously we know Brian Kelly has a lot of speed. He used his speed to keep contained and then was able to take him down, and Greenville is backed up inside its 2-yard line. Great job by the Wildcat defense.
It'll be second down, 23 yards to go for a first down. Quarterback's going to hand it to the back, and he is going to move the ball up to around the 9-yard line where it'll be third down facing Greenville. 6:50 to play here in the first quarter. 7-0 Greenville. They scored on their opening drive. They had a great punt return to set up that drive and then just crisply walked the ball down the field. Big defensive play here for the Wildcats.
Huge defensive play for the Wildcats. Third and about 15 it looks like, and a great opportunity to get the ball back on this side of the field.
Third down, 16 yards to go. Hand off to the running back, and he is going to be dropped right at the 16-yard line, and then it will be fourth down facing the Green Devils, and the Wildcats will force a punt. So the sack, huge there for the Wildcats, Mike Sheehan.
Yeah, that's an exciting play, David, no doubt. You know, they had that fourth down a while ago. The Greenville Green Devils stopped us, and we put a hurt on their quarterback on that big sack.
Fourth down, 9 yards to go, 6 minutes to play. Here in the first quarter, just underway, Brandon Hayward standing back at around the 47-yard line. The Wildcats coming in strong. Kick is nearly blocked. It's short. It's going to be fielded by Hayward at the 50-yard line. He's going to run it. Tries to cut to the outside. Stiff arms his man and turns the corner. He's at the 45 and then slung down by his face mask, and that'll be 15 extra yards on that one. I think what the official saw is correct. Correct, straight. The Wildcats, I'm going black. Stiff arm. Yeah. Hayward did 2 times to 2 different players, and then that guy got mad, I think, because he got stiff armed, and the Wildcats are going to have great field position in a 7-0 ball game with 5:40 to play here in the first quarter.
They absolutely did flip the field, just like you talked about a moment ago, David, especially with that 15-yard face mask penalty. That was a no-brainer. I mean, he grabbed him by the face mask and literally slung him toward the sideline. I'm glad he's not hurt.
Now it'll be up to the Wildcats to do something with this field position. They've got the ball at the Green Devil 27-yard line, 5:40 to play here in the first quarter. Watch the camera. It'll be Oak Ridge's offense. We're 3 and a punt the last time, but they've got the great field position here. We'll see if the Oak Ridge offense can move the ball. We saw some pretty good running by Kendall Jackson on one play. The Wildcats will have Jai Hunley in the ball game along with DeJavis Dozier, 2 running backs. The Wildcats 2 receivers, including Andrew Ferreira. He comes in motion across the body of the quarterback, Hayden Tarwater. Here comes the handoff to Hunley, and he's going nowhere. He is going to be dropped for a loss back at the 30-yard line. It'll bring up second down, and we'll call it 12 yards to go.
Yeah, David, you're absolutely right. Once again, just a little bit of a triple option look there from the Wildcats. Tarwater handed it off there to Kendall, and maybe, like I said before, had a little bit of room. So I wouldn't be surprised if we come back to that look to where Tarwater keeps it outside. Maybe it goes with the pitch man. I believe that would have been Hunley.
The Wildcats are going to send Davis splitting out to the right. Hundley is in a slot to the right side. Dozier is in the backfield. Wildcats have Ferreira. The Wildcats have a new tight end in the ballgame. That is Brian Kelly. 4:58 to play. We're in the first quarter. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge trailing 7-0. It's officially a loss of a yard, and now what's the call? Flags are down. No, it's a timeout call by Oak Ridge. We'll take it ourselves. We'll be back to Greenville. 7-0. Green Devils back in 60 seconds.
Like your mustard yet? Have you eaten your mustard yet? So we called Skype and they called him. It's perfect for catching things.
Welcome back once again to Greenville, Tennessee. Second down, 11 yards to go, facing the Wildcats. Hayden Tarwater, shotgun. He's got one lone running back. He's going to pass. Fires it out of the backfield. Pass is going to be caught to the 25-yard line. Go the Wildcats. That's Jai Hundley. And he picks up positive yardage, gain of about 4. It'll bring up third and long facing the Wildcats. Third down and about 7 yards to go. 4:35 and counting. We're in the first quarter in a 7-0 ball game. The Wildcats will send Hundley and James splitting out to the far left. Yeah. And it'll be Dozier in the backfield. The Wildcats. Play calls from Chad Hodge, the offensive coordinator. Third down, we'll call it 7 yards to go. 4:15 to play in a fast-moving first quarter. Hayden Tarwater back to pass. Has all day. Looks, fires a pass on his knees, makes the catch behind the line of scrimmage. Not a great pass that time. It was a little bit low, and he was able, that's Davis, who makes the catch right at the 27-yard line. It's going to be a loss of a yard on the play. It'll be 4th down and 9 yards to go. The Wildcats have got to go up the field with the ball. We've had a lot of short plays the other day against the Powell Panthers in long situations. The Wildcats have got to test the secondary sometime. You got a strong arm quarterback in Hayden Tarwater. The Wildcats are going to attempt a long field goal from the left hash. It'll be Efren Rodriguez to attempt. The holder is Hayden Tarwater. Riley Hudson is the snapper. 3:28 to play. This will be from about 44 yards. Kick is on its way. Hits it well. It's on its way. It's up. And it is good! Efren Rodriguez with a 44-yard field goal with 3:20 to play here in the first quarter. 7-3 our score. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
He was 34, right? 44, right? 44. Yeah, thank you.
44 yards.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it 30 seconds.
Mason Gudger is now wearing 15. Mason Gudger at 15. I think it's jersey got awesome. Thank you. For about 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Greenville, Tennessee. 7-3 our score. 3:20 to play after the long 44-yard field goal. Here's another line drive kick by Brandon Pearson. It's going to bounce and be picked up at the 5 to the 10. Oh, it's a huge hole down the sideline. He's going to move the ball, and he's tackled nicely. Really nice tackle there. Open field tackle by the Wildcats. It was either Marcus Melton or Pendergrass there on the stop. Or Izzy Mitchell. He was 28 for sure. And it'll be first down, 10 yards to go. A couple bad kickoffs have given them great field position.
Well, and you got to credit Greenville with their special teams blocking. They do a great job. I think there's only maybe 1 or 2 coverage guys for the Wildcats running free, and there's not that many. So great job by blocking for Greenville, who directionally kicked there. The safety, Izzy Mitchell, was the one that made the tackle.
3 receivers split to the left, 1 lone man to the right. First down, 10 yards to go. The Green Devils hand off to the back, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. He busts through there, and into the secondary he goes. Down the field, and the Wildcats, Rogers throws him down to the turf, but not before he gets all the way down to the 20-yard line. He just came busting out of there. Nobody seemed to see him. He just hit the corner, and there was nobody except the defensive backs to stop him.
You're absolutely right there, David, as Mason Gudger was the one on the carry there. He's wearing a little bit different number. We've just been informed. He is no longer number 2. He is number 15 now.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 20-yard line, 2:52 to play. Wildcats showing blitz once again, handoff to the back, and he is hit right after a gain of maybe 2 yards. He moves the ball to around the 17-yard line. 2:40 to play here in the first quarter in a 7-3 ball game. They've got some quickness for sure. We've talked about that in our pregame show, but Wildcats did not defend that run really well, though.
No, the run before they did not defend well, but the previous run they did. Nice job of keeping contained by Marcus Melton on the tackle there.
Second down, 7 yards to go. Here comes the Wildcats showing blitz. There was close to movement on the Oak Ridge line. Try to get Oak Ridge to jump. It's second down, 7 yards to go. 2:15 to play. Play clock is down to 13. Quarterback Quillen once again back to pass. Looks, fires. Pass caught. Touchdown. Into the secondary, they score. Another touchdown for Jaden Stevenson, this time for the Green Devils, and it is 13-3.
Yeah, David, a little bit of a different formation from the Green Devils. They came out in a 2-by-2, so 2 receivers to each side. The outside receiver just ran a slant route, and our outside linebacker was just out of his outreach hand and right inside of the corner there. It's really hard to defend the slant route.
Boy, they score quick, that's for sure. The extra point is up, and it's good. 14-3 our score. Back with another kickoff in 60 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, with that last carry, Mason Gudger now has 3,172 yards, which surpasses Dustin Moore for third all-time in Greenville rushing distance.
Welcome back once again to Greenville, Tennessee. Greenville High School, the Wildcats of Oak Ridge, and the Green Devils. Greenville can score quick when they have good field position. As here's another fair catch, this time going to be signaled by the Wildcats at the 25-yard line once again to Junior Adams. Boy, they can score really, really quick, James Branson.
Yeah, it helps when your offense operates at the pace that they do. They probably run about a play every 30 2 plays every 30 or 40 seconds. So they operate very, very quick. But they also have some speed, not only from their receivers, but from their running back, as we saw Gudger had a great run to set them up pretty well.
2:04 to play first quarter, 14-3 the score. The Wildcats back on offense here. Kendall Jackson's in the backfield. It looks like James is back there with him. Am I correct there, I believe? As the Wildcats will hand it off to Kendall, and Kendall is going to go no place. He's going to be tackled after a gain of a yard, perhaps. The Wildcats down 14-3, a minute 53 to play, gain of 1, second down, and 9 yards to go.
A little bit of an adjustment here coming from Greenville, as you saw the outside linebacker noticing that the Wildcats are starting to run triple option, and so he's keeping contained on the quarterback, and there's a pitch man. In that case, it was number 21 for them, who is Height, who had all the line move. The outside blitzing linebacker was the only person that really moved and continued to the play. As you said, though, the snap was still low.
Third down and long to go.
Quarterback and center.
Third down, 15 yards to go. Hayden straight drop this time. He's going to go crank it down the field. Pass is caught. He's going to be short of a first down. It is a nice reception, and they finally blow the whistle. They had 5 shirts around him and just kept pushing him backwards. They're going to say his forward progress is up to the 33-yard line, but that is well short of a first down. Right there, Hayden Tarwater displayed that very strong arm of his.
Yeah, obviously Hayden has a really strong arm, and he fit that right into 3 different receivers. Obviously, obviously they were spaced out a little bit in zone coverage, but Brandon sat right down in the middle of that zone coverage and was able to pick up that on a curl route. That is going to be the end of the first quarter. So Greenville leads 14-3. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't understand what you were saying. 8:30.
Okay.
Do you give me an ask your mom if the radio sounds any better?
David Clary back here along with James Branson, Andy Hudson, Neo Tate, along with Drew Thomas. Lee Wexler is with us as well. Christian Rosas Rodriguez, high snap. Brian Kelly's going to punt it. Almost waited too long. Gets a nice punt off, and it's going to take a great Oak Ridge roll. It's going to roll inside the 25-yard line down to the 23. I thought Brian was going to take off and run with that, and he had a little running room, but then there was a gray shirt coming at him, and he got it off and got a great roll.
You're absolutely right, and I think two things kind of messed that play up there a little bit for the Wildcats, and we were very fortunate, obviously, to have Brian Kelly back there, who is very athletic. High snap, as you said, Brian kind of had to field it on the run, get the punt out quick, and Brian, the left-footed kicker, was able to kind of trickle it down the sideline there, and once again, Greenville is backed up. We've had pretty good field position when we punted.
14-3 our score, 11:47 to play first half here from Greenville, Tennessee. The Wildcats blitzing again, hand off to the running back, and he breaks 3 tackles, moves the ball forward for about 12 yards. You got to get him down. He's not very big for sure. Gudger is not big at all. But the stick. One thing you can say about this officiating crew, they let them play and they blow the whistle late. It happened on both sides. So far, I'm very impressed with these officials to that point, but maybe should have called it a little bit sooner than they did.
You're absolutely right. You know, credit Gudger though. Gudger keeps his legs driving. He may be short and he may be quick, but he is also pretty powerful as he was trying to continue to push the pile and gain yards.
14-3 is our score. The Green Devils on top of the Wildcats here. Second down, 8 yards to go. Quillen is the quarterback, I believe. One lone running back. They have a tight formation with 3 stacked on the right side. Quarterback's going to hand it to the back. It's going to be the quarterback being sacked by Jacob Burvin, and they blow the whistle there. That time, nobody was fooled. Mr. Burvin drops him for a huge loss.
Great job of staying home there by Jacob Burvin and not biting on the reverse. Had they flipped the reverse in the backfield there, which was wide open, that receiver may still be running for the touchdown right now. But great job of pursuit by Jacob Burvin and having good eye discipline and following his keys.
It is third down, 13 yards to go for the Green Devils. The ball is at the 34-yard line. 10-10 to play here in the first half. 14-3 is the score. Here they come to the line wearing their all gray jerseys with dark green numerals. The Wildcats in their white jerseys and their cardinal numerals. Splitting out receivers to the right and left. Quarterback's going to throw to him. He's going to go down the sideline, up for grabs. What a catch. What a catch. You had linebacker coverage by Jacob Burvin, who was really right on him, but I don't think you could hand him the ball any better than he just threw it to that receiver for a first down.
No, about the only way that pass would be any better if it was a back shoulder throw to the sideline, David. The quarterback for Greenville, number 11, that would be Quillen, dropped it right in there for Gudger, who came out and motioned out of the backfield on a wheel route and just ran straight down the field.
9:34 to play first half. Here come the Green Devils once again. Handoff goes to the back, and he moves the ball straight up the gut. There's a flag. We might have a hold. It's a touchdown. We'll have to check the call. I think this one's coming back. Whatever it was, they opened up an enormous hole right up the middle there, James.
Yeah, David, I believe it's right on one of their guards or maybe their center that Gudger cut right off of. Obviously, he had to hold one of our inside linebackers, either Burvin or Kelly, because if if he hadn't held, that hole would have been filled right there, just short of the line of scrimmage.
So it's a big it's a big loss on the penalty all the way back to the 34-yard line. They blow off a cannon every time they score, and I think they did that one thinking they scored, and they blew off the cannon anyway.
They did, and credit Greenville. They got a very, very fast offense, and if you look at their offensive line, they're pretty massive, and they can really muscle you around.
3 receivers to the right for them. It is first down, 15 yards to go. A little quick high pass is going to be caught, and he cuts across the field, and there he goes once again. Down the field, they are the quickest team we have played as we tackle him at around the 9-yard line, and they are as fast as any team we have played in a long time, I think.
You're absolutely right, David. As I believe it was Elijah Rogers right there on the tackle. On that play, a little bit of a play action there to the running back, throw a screen route to the receiver, and the receiver made a nice catch and cut completely all the way across the field past our linebackers and was able to get up for probably close to 25-yard gain.
From the 13-yard line, first down now, handoff to the back. This time he's grabbed by Ethan Hewitt and try to pull him down at around the 7-yard line, and he does. He kind of had to grab him from the back. They're doing a great job just opening up massive holes in the middle part of the line.
And that was the exact opposite play of the one that we saw before. The play before was a fake to the running back and a screen pass outside. This time they handed it off on a little bit of a delay to the running back to give the holes a little bit more time to open, and then the quarterback stood there pretending like he was going to pass it anyway.
3 receivers split to the right. Once again, quarterback Quillen facing 3 on the front, handoff to the back. The quarterback's running it himself, and he is dropped, but not before he gets to the 1-yard line. It'll be first down, goal to go for the Green Devils with 8:20 and counting. They already lead Oak Ridge 14-3.
Yeah, and on that play, it looked like the quarterback went to the weak side of the field where there was only about 2 or 3 defenders, and luckily for the Wildcats, that would be Rogers and Kelly. They were there to stop them on that play.
Very tight I formation. The quarterback will sneak the ball forward. He used his line to push forward, and that is a touchdown for the Green Devils. Very impressive offense. The most impressive offense we have seen all year and maybe in some time.
Yeah, and it's a very multiple offense as well. Several times Greenville has gone under center like that, and they've also been 3 receivers to one side, 1 to the opposite, 2 and 2. So they do a lot of different things, and that's just the old wedge play right there. Form a wedge, have your quarterback take the snap, and everybody push him in.
Here's the high snap. The kick is on its way. It's up, and it is good. 21-3. 8:01 to play, second quarter. The Wildcats got to get their offense in gear. We'll take a break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
33.
Welcome back to Greenville High School. David Clary along with James Branson. It's been all Greenville at this point. Here's a high kick. This one's going to be returned. The ball's at the 25, fumbled, and then he falls on it back at the 26. Just a little bit anxious, I think, was Hunley to return that one. Now the Wildcat offense, which has struggled in every ball game this year with the exception of maybe the second half of the Clinton game and the Lenore City ball game. They've got to get some first downs. They've got to move the football.
You're absolutely right. And, it's going to keep the defense off the field a little bit longer, hopefully to give them a rest and hopefully to give some time for subs to get in as well. I believe on that kickoff there, it was Dozier that kind of took a high snap and tried to field it with his hands up as opposed to kind of cradling the ball as it came down.
Thank you. I don't see as well as you do, James. Of course, you're standing up, and I'm kind of sitting down here. Okay, first down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 27-yard line. Ferreira in motion. Here's the handoff to the running back, the Wildcats. That's a nice run there by Dozier, and he moves the ball for a gain of about 5. We're happy to get 5-yard gains here, but that was a really nice hole there on the right side.
Yeah, and one thing that DeJavis did there is he squeezed right in between his guard that was pulling in the tackle and was able to kind of maneuver himself in between those two to get a nice yardage gain there. And, you know, Dozier has a lot of power, has a lot of speed. I would also kind of like to see Jai Hundley out of this formation and see what he could do out in space.
7:29 to play first half, and a very fast-moving first half. The Wildcats have really kind of tried to dominate the clock here. Wildcats up to the line. The Wildcats have a new tight end in the ballgame. That is Marcus Melton. Man comes in motion. Once again, that is Andrew Ferreira. Handoff goes to the back, and he's hit, moves the ball forward across the 35-yard line. It'll be third down and about 2 yards to go. The Wildcats, nothing fancy, just kind of power football on the left side of the line. Third down, officially we'll call it 2 yards to go for a first.
Same play there for the Wildcats, just opposite side of the field. Handoff there did go to Hundley up the middle as Dozier was coming around for a potential pitch. Once again, I would like to see Hayden Tarwater try to keep it, maybe get out on the edge and use some of our speed to do so.
Davis split to the right side along with Ferreira. Wildcats have Hundley. He'll be off to the right side as a receiver as well. And then play is stopped. Coach Gaddis is going to call a timeout. Monse Henderson not happy with something. I guess one of his receivers didn't go to the right place or something, but he is not happy at all. Of course, we were talking to one of the assistant coaches before the ball game. We're going to hold it right here, James, about you've only had basically 4 days of practice to put in new terminology, new plays. Bound to have some issues, but we haven't had any delay of game penalties yet. But whatever happened right there was kind of angered the Oak Ridge coaches.
Yeah, that wasn't something where it was a play calling issue or anything like that. I don't think, as you mentioned with delay games, I think that was more of a formation issue. As you said, one of the receivers may not have lined up in the right place, because some people look at the clock and say, oh, well, it was down to 6 seconds, they want to call a timeout. That's not actually what the issue was, I don't think, because Oak Ridge obviously wants to try to shorten this game as much as possible and use all of that clock, not only to continue to try to move the ball, keep their defense on the sideline, but to keep that Greenville offense, which is very explosive, on their sideline.
We've got to use our weapons, though, too, James.
Yeah, and I think getting some of our guys like Dozier, like Hundley out in space, maybe even getting something out, maybe in this situation of Brandon Hayward or Ferreira as well.
Third down, 2 yards to go. Hayden's going to hand it off Dozier. He's got what appears to be a 10 bank of Oak Ridge first down, very, very close to the sticks. He started to his right and didn't see much there, and then drifted off to his left, and indeed, that is a 10 bank of Oak Ridge first down.
That is their first down of the night for the Wildcats, as on that play, I believe it was Andrew Ferreira that came in motion toward the Greenville sideline to maybe about 3 yards, but Jarvis kept driving his feet to get those 3 yards and to pick up that first down for the Wildcats.
5:59 to play. We're in the second quarter. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball's at the Oak Ridge 37-yard line, moving left to right here. 21-3, number one ranked team Greenville in the lead. Boom. Well, you talk about a massive hit right up the middle, and we've tried to do a lot of that. Dozier, if I were calling it one of the other teams' guys getting hit like that, I probably would have used my old catchphrase, because he just got rocked right there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the defensive line, which is pretty massive right across the board, not only from a height and strength perspective, but just a quickness perspective as well, came right across the line and got DeJavis in the backfield.
Loss of 2 on the play. Here's a quick pass caught by Rogers, breaks a tackle, moves the ball up the sideline, spins out of bounds, stops the clock at around the 45-yard line. They've got to do that more. They've got to get the ball in the hands of the guys outside. I think we can go outside. It's going to be third down at about 3. Nice reception. Great run after the catch by Rogers.
And I would tend to agree with you, David, as well about the getting to the outside guys. They do have, I believe, Gudger as one of their defensive backs, as well as number 7, who scored one of their touchdowns for him. That would be Gillespie.
Third down, we'll call it 4 yards to go. Hayden Tarwater, 21-3 is our score. Time to pass. Now it breaks down, fires a pass. pass is caught for what appeared to be a first down. They're going to say it's incomplete. Hayden got rocked. We're going to have to check this call here. If we kind of around where it would be holding, but I haven't seen an initial signal yet. It comes over to the hold. It's going to be personal foul against the Green Devils. That's going to give Oak Ridge a first down. Hayden just got rocked. I didn't see if it was roughing the passer. It went down really quick.
You're absolutely right, and he got hit as almost as. But credit Hayden for standing in the pocket there. So many times this season, Hayden's kind of had to scramble for his life, but the line did a pretty good job of holding the defense up there and giving him enough time to try to give his receiver a chance to
have it. In motion comes Rogers once again. First down, 10 yards to go. Handoff goes Dozier. Dozier moves the ball forward for a gain of 3 or 4 yards. Fighting hard for yardage there. It'll bring up second down, 7 yards to go. 4 minutes, 52 seconds to play here in the second quarter. 21-3, Greenville on top.
And one of the things that you'll start to notice here with the motioning across the field is the Wildcats are kind of looking to see if they're in a zone or a man coverage. And that scenario right there, they were in a zone coverage because the safety rolled down to the opposite side to cover that receiver.
Wildcats with 3 receivers split to the right. Gain of 4 on the previous play. Second down, 6. Tarwater, quick pass to Rogers. Gets outside, cuts around tried to get outside anyway. He's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. They run to the ball really, really quickly. They have got a lot of speed. They're not big out there. The line's pretty big for sure, but they're secondary guys. Their linebackers are quick, very, very fast guys.
Yeah, and one thing to kind of pick up on here, David, is that the Wildcats on first down ran it the past 2 times, and then the second down they've thrown a quick screen, so they're developing a little bit of a tendency. And the additional tendency that they're developing that they want to be aware of is that when they go quick, that is when they throw the screen routes, and we've seen that a couple times here.
Third down, 6 yards to go here in the second quarter. 3:48 to play. Hayden to pass. Fires a pass. Caught by Brandon Hayward, and that is going to be a first down, a 10-bank of I've been calling, just kind of ticky-tack things. That is another 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down. Nice throw, nice catch by Brandon Hayward.
And this is Wildcats. This is what the Wildcats needed. They needed a defensive break, basically, for their defense and to continue and sustain a drive. And you're absolutely right. I have no problem with letting them play because the officials aren't letting our guys tee off on Greenville, and Greenville's not teeing off on us. We're just continuing to fight for yardage.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the Greenville 28-yard line. 2 receivers split to the left. Handoff goes to the running back, and he bounces off a tackle once again and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing up the middle there for the Wildcats. Hundley was the ball carrier. Wildcats, I think, will have more success going outside.
Well, and like you said, success going outside. They've ran that triple option look every single time. Not once have they kept it. At some point in time, whether it's a fake or whether it's actually, carrying it out and running some type of speed option outside, the Wildcats need to at least threaten outside with a running back at some point.
2:35 and counting. First half, 21-3. The Wildcats trailing. Tarwater with Dozier back in the backfield with him. 2 receivers to the right. Hundley comes in motion. Second down. Hayden's going to pass. Looks, fires a pass. It's caught. The Wildcats inside the 20, down to the 15-yard line. Caught there by the Oak Ridge tight end, Marcus Melton. That is a 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down.
Really well-designed play there by the Wildcats is basically they motioned Hundley across the formation, and Hayden rolled toward the Greenville sideline. As he did, just a little short out route pattern there by Melton. Really good job of picking up the first down yardage.
First and 10, the ball's at the Greenville 16. Hayden's going to pass, pumps once, fires the pass, is caught by Rogers. He's got 5 yards, goes out of bounds at around the 10-yard line. The Wildcats moving the ball. And one thing that I can tell you, the Wildcat line is giving Hayden a lot of time.
You're absolutely right, giving him a lot of time, and Hayden kind of had to pump there and kind of hold the ball for just a second for Rogers to get out and be able to catch that. But the receivers on these screen routes are blocking really well for the other ones that are catching the ball.
21-3 is our score. 90 seconds to play here. The Wildcats going kind of slowly here. Would love to get 6 points. The Wildcats have it at the 12-yard line officially. Second down, we'll call it a long 5 to go for a first. Little quick pass again. It's not a good one. It's at the feet of Elijah Rogers. It'll be third down and 6 yards to go.
A couple of things here, David, is just to notice that they are throwing, the Wildcats are, the screen route to Elijah Rogers, and it's usually when he's to the multiple receiver side, whether it's the 2 receiver side or the 3 receiver side. The other thing that the Wildcats are doing is when they throw that screen route, they're usually 10 or 15 seconds when they're snapping the ball.
Minute 16 to play first half. 3rd down, 6 yards to go. 4 down territory. You can't goals and beat this team. They're going to score too many points. 3rd and 6. Hayden straight drop. Here comes a jailbreak. He breaks the tackle, then goes down. Got to throw the ball away quicker that time. Had no place to go. Once the pressure came in, he looked and then decided to run, but there was nothing but gray shirts in their way, and they are going to kick a field goal here.
But one thing to credit Hayden there with, last week he's shown a lot of growth from last week. Last week Hayden would have just thrown that away and maybe got a grounding call and put us in a worse situation. At least he was able to kind of get some of not lose as many yards as that previous pass play was Hayden's first incompletion of the game, David.
35-yard field goal here. He hits it well again. It's on its way. It's up, and it is no good. Off to the right. I just don't think you can beat Greenville by kicking field goals. I know we got a great kicking game, but I think you've got to score touchdowns. And just me personally, I'm not a coach. I don't know anything about it. They know more football than me. I think as good as that offense is, you're not going to beat them with field goals.
Well, and you're absolutely right. You're not going to beat them with field goals. And at this point, 21-3 is our score. What do you have to lose by not going for it, especially with 38 seconds? You're either going to give them the ball right where we gave them if we miss the field goal, or you're going to maybe have a chance to pick up the first down or even score on that play.
They've got the ball at the 20-yard line, moving right to left, 38 seconds to play. They've got 3 receivers. They can score again here as quickly as they can put points on the board. Here's the quarterback handing it to the back, and once again, he finds great running room. 35-40, 45-50, 45-40, 35-30. Pushed out of bounds finally up the field at the 18-yard line. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go. Took about 12 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, and it was just a nice run there by Gudger. Gudger basically followed his guard all the way to the edge of the line of scrimmage. As he followed that guard there, he continued and cut back all the way across the grain of the field through the linebackers, through the secondary, in order to rip off probably about a 60-yard run.
I'm not meaning to be critical, obviously, but I'm telling you, they're going to score a lot of touchdowns here, and we cannot just put 3 on the board.
No, we can't, and just thinking about how quick their offense goes, 38 seconds is almost like 2-minute drill for them. Like, they can score that quickly, and it's impressive how much time they give their running backs to be able to make cuts and honestly to be able to throw passes. And I think that run right there was just a test to see how far up the field we can get. Obviously, they got a lot further than the Wildcats would have ever wanted. Had the Wildcats stopped them at the line of scrimmage, we may be heading into halftime here.
I think we would have, actually, but they just seen he's not big at all. Let's see, what do they list him as? He's not big at all, but he's able to just slither his way through. 5'10", and he doesn't look that tall to me, honestly.
He doesn't, but in some ways he kind of reminds you, not as bulky as Spencer was, but Spencer Goldmeyer, he has probably a lot more speed than Spencer has, and he's a senior. He's got a lot of experience as well.
He's out at the 18-yard line here. That's their first time out. Greenville called it. First down, 10 yards to go. Quillen, once again, quarterback. He's going to run the ball himself, and he is going to race into the end zone. That is a touchdown. So they score in 17 seconds. 21 seconds left in the first half. 27-3 our score.
For those of you that are kind of college fans here, this is very reminiscent of maybe Chip Kelly when he was at Oregon at how fast they go. That play right there, that was just basically a back-on-end play where you fake the handoff to – that's a called play where you fake the handoff to the running back and see what you can get rushing out of your quarterback behind a pulling guard.
Another extra point attempt. It's on its way. It's up, and it is good. 28-3 our score. 21 seconds to play. We'll be back with the Greenville kickoff in 60 seconds. And here's another pop-up kick by Greenville, fielded by the Wildcats at the 25 to the 30 to the 35-yard line. And that is where Oak Ridge will take over. First down, 10 yards to go. Dozier on the return. 15 seconds to play here, 28-3 the score. It took them 17 seconds to get down the field and score.
You're absolutely right, and they obviously score quickly. We've kind of talked about how they do that. One thing that I would be wary of if I were Greenville, though, and I know they don't have too much to be worried about at this point, but don't kick it to Javis Dozier unless you want to give him a chance to score. He is very slippery as well, and he can make a break of a play.
First and 10. Let's see what the Wildcats elect to do. A low snap again. Hayden's going to take a knee, and that's going to send us to halftime. Good turnout of fans here. Good turnout of Oak Ridge fans across the way there. The band is not here. Greenville fans sending their team to the dressing room with a nice ovation. They lead Oak Ridge 28-3 here at halftime. That is perhaps the fastest offense that I remember seeing since maybe some of those Riverdale teams back in the day.
Well, and I think the only thing, honestly, that I had to compare to it is maybe something at a collegiate level. If you're a UT fan and you watch University of Tennessee, they probably go at about that type of speed. If you have been watching football a little bit longer, maybe something similar to Gus Malzahn, what he did at Auburn, or what Chip Kelly did at Oregon when he's trying to do at UCLA. I mean, they're just so fast, and you get the play call in. I think on those type of play calls, they already have a call of the field, whether it's the wide side or short side of the field, and then they just run the play based off of that, and that's how they're able to go so quick.
So we're at halftime here. 28-3 is our score. The Wildcats trailing. The Wildcats next week will be playing a Thursday night ball game. A Thursday night ball game. On the original schedule, it was for a Friday night ball game at Carnes High School, but because of Deshaun Bishop and the great season that he is having, that they have decided that they want to put him on TV, and that'll be a TV ball game next Thursday, 7 o'clock kickoff at Carnes. The 1991 Oak Ridge Football State Championship reunion will be Friday, October the 22nd at the Kingsport Dobbins Bennett ball game. We'd like to thank James Powers, Chris Corwin, and the Bankers for sponsoring the event. We have a designated area at the top of the hill in the grass parking lot right outside Blankenship Field. Big Ed's Pizza and beverages will be provided to all former players, coaches, cheerleaders, band members, teachers, and administrators. It will begin at 5 o'clock and run to 7 o'clock, and all fans and family are welcome to come visit and celebrate. There will be a quick presentation down on the field commemorating the 1991 state championship team, and that will be at 6 o'clock on the field at Blankenship Field. If you have any questions, please contact Mike Underwood or Sean Summers for more details. We're going to take a break here. We're going to send it back to Brian Bennett. When we come back, Mike Sheehan will have the scoring summary of this one. It's kind of one-sided towards the Green Devils. 28-3 they lead. We'll be back to Greenville, Tennessee following this 4-minute timeout.
I'm just going to get a paper towel. No worries. Thank you, sir. One minute.
Okay.
So go actually at 9:38.
9:38. Okay, got you.
Dying. My wife asked me that all the other day. I said, I don't know if she's going to do most of
I'm watching the clock. Hello and welcome back to Greenville High School. This is the Wild Man Mike Sheehan with tonight's scoring summary between the Oak Ridge Wildcats and the Greenville Green Devils. And the Devils they are. With less than 2 minutes into the game, quarterback Brady Quillen threw a 31-yard touchdown pass to Jacoby Gillespie, and the Green Devils went up 6-0. Then the extra point by Cooper Graham was good, and the Green Devils led 7-0. But with 3:20 in the first quarter, Efren Rodriguez lined up and booted a beautiful 44-yard field goal through the uprights for the Wildcats to put the Wildcats up or on the scoreboard 7-3. Then, just 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in the first quarter, Brady Quillen threw another touchdown pass to Price into the end zone, and the Green Devils went up 13-3. Then the extra point by Cooper Graham was good, and the Green Devils led over the Wildcats 14-3. Then in the second quarter, the 8 minutes and 1 second into the second quarter, Mason Munger ran one in from 2 yards out, and that put the Green Devils up 20-3. Then Cooper Graham came in and kicked the extra point between the uprights, and just like that, the Green Devils led 21-20. Then with 38 seconds left in the first half, Efren Rodriguez lined up another field goal attempt from 34 yards out, but regretfully it went right. So the score remained 21-3 Greenville. Then with just 21 seconds left, quarterback, after a beautiful drive by Greenville all the way down to the 11-yard line, quarterback Brady Quillen faked a handoff to his running back. Everybody thought the running back had the ball. Brady snuck off right tackle and went into the end zone and scored another 6 points for the Green Devils, and the Green Devils went up 27-3. Then Cooper Graham came in and kicked the ball right between the uprights, and then with a halftime score now is 28-3 Green Devils over the Wildcats. A very talented team, a very disciplined team. They tackle really well, and they really have a great offensive team. I want to give a quick shout out to two friends of mine in Rockwood, Tennessee, Tommy and John Thompson. And now back to the voice of the Wildcats, David Clary.
Thanks a lot, Mike Sheehan. We're getting ready to send the microphone. I said ball. The only reason I said that is because their band was exceptionally loud. Was it not, Mike?
They definitely were. I had to really concentrate to hear what I was saying.
And now we go to Mark Case with a look at the first half statistics. I don't see it.
Let me get out.
Time to start over. We're gonna get his mic to start working here in a second. Tell him to start over once again. We apologize for that. His mic was not
yards on 3 carries, and Hayden Tarwater This is Mark Hayes at half. Oak Ridge trails the Greenville Green Devils by a score of 28-3. Looking at the first half statistics, first for Oak Ridge, they're led on the ground by Peyton Sharp. He has 20 yards on 1 carry. Kendall Jackson, 10 yards on 4 carries. DeJovis Dozier has 3 carries for 6 yards. Jay Hunley, 4 yards on 3 carries. And Hayden Tarwater has 2 carries, netting minus 11 yards. So as a team, the Wildcats have rushed the ball 13 times, gaining 29 yards on the ground. Through the air, Oak Ridge more successful. Quarterback Hayden Tarwater for the Wildcats, he's 8 of 9 for 46. He has no interceptions in the first half. Receiving for the Wildcats, they're led by Brandon Hayward. He has 2 receptions for 19 yards. Elijah Rogers, 3 receptions for 13 yards. Marcus Melton has a 12-yard reception. Jay Hunley with a 4-yard reception. And Price Davis has a reception for minus 2 yards. So as a team, the Wildcats have 29 yards on the ground on 13 carries. They have 46 yards through the air on 8 receptions for a total offense tonight of 75 yards. The Wildcats have earned 4 first downs in the ballgame. The good news is they have not been assessed a penalty. So no penalties and no penalty yards for the Wildcats in the first half. Now looking at Greenville, they are led on the ground by Damian Short. He has an impressive 136 yards on 10 carries, obviously a 13.6 yard average per carry. His long was 62 yards. Mason Gudger has 20 yards on 3 carries. He's averaging 6.7 yards per carry. And Brady Quillen, the quarterback, he has scored twice by rushing the ball. He has 5 carries, totaling 15 yards. So as a team, Greenville has rushed the ball 18 times, totaling 171 yards on the ground. Very balanced offense for the Green Devils tonight. Brady Quillen, the quarterback, he's 4 of 4 for 111 yards with no interceptions. Receiving for the Green Devils, they're led by Jacoby Gillespie. He has 55 yards on 2 completions. Damian Short has a 39-yard reception, and Jaden Stevenson has a 17-yard reception. So as a team, the Green Devils have 171 yards on 18 carries. They have 111 yards on 4 receptions for a total offense of 282 yards. Greenville has 8 first downs in the first half, and they've been penalized 3 times for 40 yards. So look at the teams side by side. On the ground, Oak Ridge, 29 yards. Greenville, 171. Through the air, Oak Ridge, 46 yards. Greenville, 111. Total offense, Oak Ridge, 75 total offensive yards. Greenville, 282. First downs, Oak Ridge has 4. Greenville, 8. Penalties, Oak Ridge has no penalties. Greenville, 3 penalties for 40 yards. So at the half, Oak Ridge trails Greenville by a score of 28-3. And we'll be back after this 2-minute timeout.
They take home with first place music, first place in band, second place visual, second place band in AAA, second place guard, second place drum major, and third place drum line. Tonight's competition is officially the third at the Athletics Division. Wish them luck.
This can't take you.
James Branson back here at Greenville as the Wildcats and the Green Devils are coming back out on the field for their second half warm-ups. Wanted to make a quick announcement calling on all of our 30,000 plus great ORHS alumni out there to get involved in the first annual Oak Ridge Public Schools Give Back program. Who helps determine the future of our great city and the quality of our education and services Oak Ridge schools provide? You do. We could use your help. By giving to your alma mater, you have the opportunity to contribute to our ongoing tradition of excellence. Of course, the size of your gift and the way that you give depends on your personal circumstances. Donate and make Oak Ridge even better by visiting www.orpsef.org today and get involved. You can share your involvement on Facebook and encourage other Wildcats to follow. One quick announcement as we kind of look around the region at some of the other scores currently going on of other games. Powell in the second quarter is leading Campbell County 30-0. Clinton is up at halftime on Lenore City 19-7. And looking for the Halls score, which is Halls versus Carnes. Halls is currently up on Carnes 21-7 at halftime as well. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout.
David Clary back here along with James Branson, Andy Hudson, Neo Tate, Lee Wexler, Christian Rosas Rodriguez, Drew Thomas, Brian Bennett back at the station, Mark and Shauna doing our stats. Mike Sheehan is up here as well. 28-3 the score. The Wildcats will be receiving the second half kickoff. The Wildcats, some positive. Mark said we have 75 yards. I think that's more than we had last week against Powell, for sure. We definitely have more first downs than we did last week.
You're absolutely right. Definitely more first downs as the Wildcats really had a nice drive to close out the second half there as they were able to drive it all the way down, I believe, close to the 15 or 10-yard line of the Blue Devils, just not able to capitalize on those points there.
Green Devils, I believe.
You're absolutely right.
Here's the pop-up kick once again. It's going to be returnable. Here come the Wildcats. That's Dozier at the 25, at the 30, at the 35 to the 40, at the 45-yard line, up to the 47-yard line. Got horse collared down. Good return there, and it'll be 1st and 10 Oak Ridge. Good field position for the Wildcats. They have popped it up every time.
They have popped it up every time, and like I said earlier in the first half, you do not want to pop it up to Jajavis because he does two things really well. He has speed and he has power. He's able to hit that sideline right there in between the numbers and the hash marks on the sideline and get probably about a 25, 30-yard return. Does a great job and puts the Wildcats in good field position. I know Greenville probably doesn't have a lot to worry about, but there's still time on the clock, and the Wildcats start on offense.
Xavier James and Brandon Hayward split to the right side as receivers for Oak Ridge. 1st and 10. Wildcats Wildcats in motion. That goes to Rogers. Rogers gets the handoff, cuts it across midfield, and is tackled at the 49-yard line. He's got some speed. It's good to see him on the field for the Wildcats. He's one of the transfers from West, and he picks up a positive gain of 3 yards.
Yeah, he just came in motion there, did Rogers across the formation, a little bit of a jet sweep, just trying to outnumber the Blue Devils and pick up some blocking and try to get to the edge. So the Wildcats are trying to run out to the edge here like we suggested in the first half.
Marcus Milton is the tight end. We started the game with Jacob Burvin at the tight end. Marcus has his first reception. I believe he's a Wildcat tonight.
Yeah, and doing a really nice job for the Wildcats there as well. You know, you got to give Jacob and Brian Kelly a little bit of break, so Marcus is doing a good job for the Wildcats.
Second down, 7 yards to go. Rogers comes in motion once again all the way from the far side of the field. The handoff goes up the middle. No, it's going to be the pitch out to Kendall. Kendall trying to get outside, and he is going to get back perhaps to the original line of scrimmage and maybe beyond for an extra yard. He had to fight for it because they didn't fool the Green Devils at all. There was plenty of gray and green back in the backfield, and Kendall made that gain all on his own. He picked up 2 yards.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And one of the things that came out of that was the Wildcats motioned across the field. They brought Rogers toward the Greenville sideline, which drew that defender from that side, hoping to possibly make that read a little bit quicker, but the defender stayed at home and played that pretty well. But credit Kendall for trying to get back to the line of scrimmage and even extend the play.
Third down, we'll call it a long 5 to go for a first, really closer to 6, I guess. 3 receivers to the right of the quarterback, Hayden Tarwater. He pumps once, has to fire it, now fires the pass. It's going to be almost incomplete, almost intercepted. That time, Hayden really wasn't sure what to do. He didn't want to tuck it and run. He went to his kind of a short route in the middle part of the field, dangerous pass there. If I were him, I think next time he should just heave it down the field a little bit.
Yeah, and one of the things that I was watching there with the 2 receivers that side, I believe there was a little miscommunication between Brandon and between Elijah there. They weren't sure exactly who was blocking, and so Elijah went upfield to create a little separation, and Hayden just tried to get it out to him.
Like we said, it's just 1 week of practice in the offense here. The Wildcats are going to punt. Well, I think Bourbon is going to punt it. Took a while. Got the punt off. It's going to take a good Oak Ridge roll. The only time we really set up for our score is when we pinned them inside the 10-yard line, then got a sack down at the 2-yard line. Now let's see what the Oak Ridge defense can do here. They have been so quick, out-quicking our defense. Our defense has played pretty well. I think if you ask Coach Miner today, this is not one of their best efforts to this point.
Probably not, but I think one of the things that is kind of causing a little bit of an issue for the Wildcats is, as you mentioned in the first half, some of the blitzing. The Wildcats are blitzing, trying to attempt to fill every gap, and the Green Devils are going outside just off tackle, and it's just creating big running lanes for them.
First and 10, the ball is at the Green Devil 18-yard line. 28-3 the score. Greenville on top. Quarterback's going to pass. Fires a pass. It's caught in the middle of the field. The Wildcats make the stop there. It's going to be Jacob Bourbon at around the 24-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play. I like their offense. They have a lot of diversity with it. They like to run it. They like to throw it. They do a lot of misdirection. It's a very fun team, and it helps when you've got so much speed on the field, too.
You're right. And there was a little bit of a double screen there between Grudger and Stevenson for the Green Devils. I believe Grudger went in and caught the pass there as Stevenson was bubbling outside. Really nice formation, really nice play.
Here comes the blitz once again, and the Wildcats are going to snuff it out, and Jacob Bourbon's going to drill him to the turf. Here at Greenville, they're going to give him about a yard gain on the play. It's going to be third down, 5 yards to go. Big play in the ball game. The Wildcats are down 25 points right now, 28-3. If they have any chance of coming back in this ball game, right now they've got to get a stop here. It's third down and about 4.
Absolutely got to get a stop and force a punt here to get the ball back and, possibly end up with some good field position and go score some points. 9.5 minutes to play, third quarter, third down, 4 yards to go. Quillen looking at a blitz, handoff to the back, boom! He's going to go down. Bourbon and Hewitt hit him in the backfield. That time, the Wildcats guessed right, the right hole, blitz through with the linebacker, and it's fourth down, and they'll be forced to punt.
This is a great play there by Jacob Bourbon as he was an A-gap blitz, single A-gap blitz off to the right side, split the guard and the center, and got back into the backfield, hit Grudger before he knew what hit him, and dropped him for, I believe, about a 5-yard loss on that play and forcing a punt.
Fourth down, 9 yards to go. They'll be punting from inside their own 10-yard line. The Wildcats bringing everybody. There was movement on the line. We jumped. I don't know if we went across the line, but there was movement on our side. It's going to be a 5-yard step off. and we caused them to move. That's a step off against the Green Devils.
Against the Green Devils is going to back them up even further. One of the things that the Wildcats special teams have done really well so far this year is blocking punts. So we got an opportunity to block another punt right here with 8:40 left in the third quarter.
Fourth down, 14 yards to go. The Wildcats showing blitz once again. High snap. Punt is away. It's short. It's going to be fielded by the Wildcats and returnable. He moves the ball, Brandon Hayward does, to the Greenville 34-yard line. Great field position for the Wildcats. He didn't signal for a fair catch. The Greenville player saying he signaled for a fair catch, and he did not. He just got it and run. That was, you talk about guts, there was plenty of gray shirts around him.
You're absolutely right. As Brandon Hayward was running up to catch that very short punt, not very high in the air, not very lengthy either, and Brandon just ran up to the line of scrimmage, didn't call a fair catch, and the defender for the Greenville Devils basically just stopped and was surprised when Brandon kept running.
Ball's at the Greenville 35-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. Andrew Ferreira. I think they need to get him involved with the offense too.
He's a very speedy receiver and has great hands for the Wildcats. You'd love to see him given an opportunity here.
First down, 10 yards to go. He's in motion from the right to the left side. Backfield split. Hayden's going to hand it off to Dozier. Dozier's a big hole. Dozier picks up 10, picks up 12, moves the ball down to the 23-yard line. Good blocking by the left side of the Oak Ridge High School line.
That would be Ethan Hewitt on that side, as well as Walker Rice, and I believe the other one to that side, I don't have it right in front of me at the moment, but does a great job of Dozier does a great job of dipping underneath some of those potential tackles and lowering his shoulders and running through them and kind of spinning out of a little bit to pick up a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down.
8 minutes to play, third quarter, 28-3. The Wildcats inside the 25-yard line. Hayden Tarwater, junior quarterback. In motion comes Elijah Rogers from the right to the left side. The Wildcats moving left to right. Here comes the handoff. Another good hole. Nice run again. Inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line. Oak Ridge offensive line, I think, is doing some good work tonight here against Greenville.
Yeah, David, and it looks like one thing that the Wildcats are doing is we have a sub coming out here. That might be Truett Tex that came out as Zach Snyder comes in. It looks possibly because Ethan Hewitt and now Zach Snyder are on the right side, or maybe they're just flipping Ethan to maybe the strength side.
It's good to have Truett back, honestly. He's been gone, I guess, since maybe the second ball game of the year. It'll be for Oak Ridge, second down, 3 yards to go. The ball at the 15-yard line. Another big hole. That's Hundley. Hundley at the 5. It'll be first down. Goal to go for the Wildcats at the 5-yard line. Hundley, Jai Hundley, first and goal. Another 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down.
Absolutely, David. And you might not see it on the film right away, but Hundley ran somebody over about the 7-yard line, just continued to turn his legs. Great job there. And the offensive line finally opening up some holes for the Wildcat running backs just right up the middle. And, you know, if Greenville's not careful here, they might let Oak Ridge right back in the game because we've controlled the ball so far.
6 minutes, 50 seconds and counting. First down, goal to go. Officially, the ball is at the Greenville 6-yard line. Tarwater is going to hand it to Dozier. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Oak Ridge! DeJavis Dozier takes it in from 6 yards out, and the Wildcats have a touchdown on offense. 6:39 to play, third quarter, 28-9 the score.
Great cut, great vision by DeJavis as he basically saw nothing at the middle of the line of scrimmage, kind of jammed up there, cuts it outside, and uses his speed. You know, everybody's talking about Greenville and their speed, and they do have fantastic speed, but nobody was catching, or even, I don't even think DeJavis got even touched on that play. Great job by the Wildcats.
And the Wildcats go for the extra point. The kick is blocked. Lots of pressure came in. 28-9 our score. We'll be back with the Wildcat kickoff in 60 seconds.
I'll have to start when you're about
David Clary back here along with James Branson, Andy Hudson, Christian Rosas Rodriguez, Neo Tate, Drew Thomas, Lee Wexler. Here's the high pop-up kick this time by the Wildcats. He fields it over his shoulder and moves the ball up the field. Nicely done. Nice tackle there by the Wildcats. I think that was number 7, Jai Hunley, on the tackle at the 25-yard line. Brendan's had trouble kicking it into the end zone today, so they went with the pop-up.
Yeah, and that shouldn't really be anything new or different for the Wildcats. We saw that all last year, and the Wildcats did a great job of covering down there. Tillery was the one. He was the guy on the second line here for the Greenville Blue Devils. He probably Green Devils.
Are you a Duke fan?
Probably. Ran back 15 yards to try to field that punt.
1st and 10 for the Green Devils at the 25-yard line. Handed off to the nose, the quarterback. He is hit. Brian Kelly drops him at the 27-yard line. He, along with his friend, J.K. Morgan, there on the stop. It's a gain on the play of 3. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. 28-9. The Wildcats trailing. 6:19 to play here in the third period.
Just a called run there for the Green Devils as Quillen took the snap and just went right off in. Great job pursuit, but there by Kelly.
3-man front for the Wildcats. We'll set the starters in a moment. Quarterback hands it to the back, and he is hit at the line of scrimmage. Moves the ball forward to the 32-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down again. Facing the Green Devils, the Wildcat defense doing a little better job. Wildcats are going to have to get Bourbon out of the game. His helmet came off. Here comes Junior Adams in the ball game. He's going to play linebacker, all 135 pounds of him.
Yeah, you have Junior Adams in right now, Kendall Jackson. You also have Brian Kelly as your linebackers, I believe. Also in there is Marcus Melton, your defensive line for the Wildcats, J.K. Morgan, Ethan Hewitt, Zach Snyder. Secondary includes Izzy Mitchell, Price Davis, and Brandon Hayward and Elijah Rogers.
3rd down, 4 yards to go for the Green Devils. Here comes the handoff to the quarterback, and he has a 1st down. Pretty close to it. Brian Kelly almost stopped him. He grabbed him and dropped him, but I think he's got it by a yard. It'll be 1st and 10 for Greenville. 5:21 to play, third quarter. 28-9 the score. And the Green Devil fans applaud the Wildcat defense, giving up a 1st down, their first 1st down here in the second half. 28-9 our score.
I would be very careful if I were Greenville. You know, they've kind of had the pedal to the metal on their offense so far, and they seem to slow it down a little bit here. If I were them, I'd ramp it back up. That's when they were scoring all their points.
The Wildcats are not trying to blitz from the outside. They're blitzing straight up the middle when they come, and there's some movement on the line. Illegal procedure is going to be called against the Green Devils. 4:55 to play, third quarter, 28-9. Next week, the Wildcats on a Thursday night will be taking on the Carnes Beavers at Carnes. The game was moved from Friday. It will be a 7 o'clock kickoff at Carnes. We'll have the broadcast on FM 92.7, FM 94.7. We're also streaming on prepradio.com, and we're also streaming on, victory927.org. On the TuneIn app, you can find it. It'll be 1st down, 15 yards to go. Did I get that right?
You did get that right, as well as Streama and MyTuner. We're streaming there as well.
1st and 15 for Greenville. The ball at their own 32-yard line. 4:41 to play. 3-man front, Oak Ridge. They're going to pass. Firing the pass. Pass is incomplete. Might have been a little contact there. No flags. It'll be 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Wildcat defense looks a little steadier right now.
Looks a little steadier, and like I said, Greenville looks like they've taken their foot off the pedal just a little bit, and they need to be very cautious of that and not get kind of complacent or, settling in with what they want to do. They've come out with several run plays here to test the waters, and that pass play there, they send a receiver in motion. Izzy Mitchell followed, but really good job of Kendall Jackson picking up the receiver out of the backfield.
2nd down, 15 yards to go. Quarterback hands it to the back. He's hitting the backfield, scoots forward, though, and gets free. Should have been a loss of yardage. Instead, he's heading down the field. He's going to be tackled finally at around the 35-yard line. They should have had him for a loss of 2 or 3 yards. He's so slippery. He's so elusive. He was able to get out of there. He's not big at all, but evidently he's strong for a little guy, and he picks up great yardage. 1st and 10, the ball inside the 35-yard line at the Oak Ridge 34.
Yeah, one thing that Gudger does really well is he's able to slip out of tackles, as you said, and Jacob Bourbon got in there so fast that Gudger had to immediately duck, and I think that's what caused Jacob to miss the tackle a little bit there. And when you blitz, that was a single A-gap blitz just right off the center guard right there. When you blitz like that, it leaves a lot of holes in the secondary.
1st and 10 for the Green Devils. Quarterback Quillen back to pass, pressured. wants to run, cuts it up the field, heads to the sideline, and is going to be driven out of bounds at around the 26-yard line. The Wildcats got pressure in on him that time. I was looking at Quillen's size. They list him at 5'9". He's just not a big guy at all.
No, he's not a big guy, and one of the things that he noticed there is that he had a man that was covered wide open down, or really covered down the field, and nobody in the flats there, so he just rolled out there. Gudger on that play, though, does come out, and number 4 for them, Dixon, comes in.
Second down and 2 yards to go. Hand off to that back, and he is hit at the line, moves the ball to the 20-yard line. Nothing fancy, just straight up the gut. Ran past Kelly and Schneider. Short gain there, but it is enough for a first down. 3.5 minutes to play third quarter. 28-9. The Green Devils, the number 1 ranked team in their classification. They are 7-0. They have annihilated everybody this year.
They have, and the fact that Oak Ridge is playing with them and doing really well and moving the football on them is pretty impressive so far for the Wildcats.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 20. The Wildcats showing blitz up the middle. Quarterback's going to run it, and he's going to get outside and score. Touchdown, I believe, Greenville. So we talked about the blitzing earlier. The Wildcats blitz straight up the middle, and they take it in, and they have 34 on the board.
Yeah, that's a tough cover right there for the Wildcats, as Brian Kelly was responsible for the quarterback in that scenario who just faked the handoff. And Jacob Irvin took the dive man, and Brian Kelly had a hard cover to keep contained on that play for the quarterback.
3:02 to play. High snap. Kick is on its way. It's up, and it is good. 3:02 to play third quarter. It's now 35-9. Greenville on top of the Wildcats. We'll be back with a kickoff in 60 seconds. Some of those pictures, too. I don't think they're good up front. Welcome back to Greenville, Tennessee. 35-9 the score. The Wildcats trailing. Here's another pop-up kick. Going to be returned by Dozier at the 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Pushed out of bounds at around, officially, let's see where they say he went out, at the 46-yard line. So the Wildcats have had good field position. They don't want to kick the ball down the field, or maybe they can't kick the ball down the field. The Wildcat offense has been able to move the ball, James, in this one. They've scored 9 points in the game, have more first downs than they had against Powell. Let's see what they can do on this drive. Kendall Jackson back in the backfield for the Wildcats.
And the Wildcats, honestly, have had some pretty good field position here. As again, you get another great return by DeJavis Dozier, who picks up some great blocking on the edge there and is able to get out to the 45-yard line.
In motion will go Rogers once again from the right side of the quarterback. Handoff straight up the middle. That is, I believe, James. Xavier James, 5'7", 155-pound sophomore. He's quick. Did you coach him at Robertsville?
I did not. I believe he came from Maryville. I think he played his middle school ball at Maryville.
He moves the ball to the Oak Ridge 49-yard line, gain of about 5. Second down, a long 5 to go for a first. 2:35 to play third quarter. 35-9 the score. The ball is at the 49-yard line. Kendall Jackson and Xavier James in the backfield with Hayden Tarwater. 2 receivers split to the left side. This is Kendall running the ball up the gut. He moves the ball forward close to its first down. Gained about 4 on the play. They officially put him down at the Greenville 46.5-yard line, where it'll be third down and a yard to go.
Yeah, and again, it's just a triple option look there, whether it was a straight dive play or if it was a read there. Kendall was able to get upfield and get it in close to manageable 3rd and 2 here. And so the Wildcats have good field position, good down and distance. You could probably just call just about anything you want to in your whole offense.
Wildcats were slow alignment getting onto the field here, and Hayden's going to have to tell everybody. Play clock is down to 5, down to 3, down to 2, down to 1. Here's the snap. Here's the handoff, and he falls forward. I think it's right at it. He had to get to the 45. The line judge on the Greenville side, he just stepped back a full half a yard. The guy that's a terrible spot. The far line judge moved his foot, actually, as the Wildcats will have it 4th down and less than a yard to go.
You're absolutely right. Moved his foot all the way back. I thought his shoulder went down just shy of the 45-yard line in Greenville territory. Obviously, they see it a little bit different, but the Wildcats need points. They keep their offense on the field.
4th down, less than a yard to go. And there's the movement across the line. Hayden Tarwater gives Oak Ridge a 1st down using his cadence.
A little bit of a freeze called there by the Wildcats. Basically get lined up, try to run a play, and fake basically a dummy count here and run a cadence. We obviously drew them off sides, pick up another 10 Bank of Oak Ridge 1st down, and keep this drive alive. And, keeping that Greenville defense on the field keeps their offense on the sideline. They can't score points.
47 points, 40 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. The Wildcats, 1st down, 10 yards to go. Wildcats at the Greenville 41. Wildcats with Kendall in the backfield along with Hayden Tarwater. The Wildcats have Rogers split to the right. And a timeout is called by the Wildcats. 35-9 our score. I want to remind everybody that next week's game is a 7 o'clock game, Thursday night at Carnes. And I want to remind everybody, too, the class of 1991, if you played football on the state championship Oak Ridge Wildcats in 1991, they're having a reunion at the Dobbins-Bennett ball game, which will last from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Big Ed's Pizza and beverages will be provided. It's going to be located just outside the gate at Blankenship Field. I'd like to thank James Powers and Chris Corwin and the Bankers for sponsoring the event. It'll last from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Everybody is welcome to go. The beverages and the food, it will be for the former players, coaches, cheerleaders, band members, teachers, and administrators. If you need more information, contact Mike Underwood or Sean Summers if you're a part of that 1991 state championship team. 1st and 10 Wildcats. The ball is at the 41-yard line. 31 seconds to play, 3rd quarter. 35-9, the Wildcats trailing. Hayden Tarwater, 2 receivers to his right. Wants to go deep, fires it up to Rogers, runs under it. Got tripped a little bit, but incidental contact. It's incomplete. Double coverage right there by the Green Devils. Coach Gaddis told me that Rogers, once he gets into better shape, he's going to be a weapon for us, and he's getting a full workout tonight going both ways.
One thing that you saw there as well, David, is the offensive line picked up the blocks from the Green Devil defense, gave Hayden a lot of time there. As you said, double coverage, the safety came over and tried to pick up that as well.
2nd and 10, it'll be Kendall Jackson breaking a tackle. Kendall Jackson almost got to the Oak Ridge sideline, and that probably would have been 6 points. It is a gain of 9 on the play, and that is the final play of the 3rd quarter. Let's take it to the 4th quarter. Oak Ridge trails 35-9. We'll be back with the 4th quarter in 60 seconds. Back here on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, prepradio.com, Oak Ridge Schools Television, Channel 15. And we appreciate you listening to our broadcast tonight. Thursday night we'll be at Carnes. That game matters greatly for the playoffs. The Wildcats 2-1 in region play, and that'll be a region game against the Beavers, 7 o'clock. Third down and about 1.5 yards to go for the Wildcats. Handoff, Kendall Jackson. Oh, he runs over somebody and picks up a 10-back of Oak Ridge first down. Number 4 has Kendall Jackson's face mask implanted in his chest.
Yeah, that would be the linebacker for them, and that is Dixon, I believe, that came right in. Tried to fill a gap there, right in the A gap where Kendall was running through. Kendall just bowled him over right there and was able to pick up the first down. Probably got about 5 yards on the play, but the key is you pick up the first down, you continue the drive, and you try to pick up some points here and maybe make the game a little bit closer.
I'm telling you, the offensive line looks much better this week.
Much improved.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 25-yard line. Tarwater with Rogers in motion to the right. Handoff goes to James, and he got rattled. He got rocked by number 1. You might have heard the crowd react. A really big hit that time, so they exchange big hits back and forth.
They do exchange big hits, and that was Peterson on the hit there, and it looks like the Green Devils blitzed through the A-gap right there and were able to hit Xavier James. That's an interesting situation there that Xavier's in the backfield. We've seen him featured a lot as a receiver out wide, and, this week we're seeing him more in the backfield.
Haven't seen Jai Hundley as much here in the second half. Second down and 13 yards to go. Rogers comes in motion. Tarwater tells Kendall Jackson what the play is. He looks over to the sideline, being signaled in by Chad Hodge. We're down to 4 seconds. We're down to 3 seconds, 2 seconds. They don't get it off. Coach Gaddis is going to call a timeout. Got to be aware of the play clock there. It got so far down, and the Wildcats did not get a delay of game call. It's going to be a timeout by Oak Ridge. Why don't we take one ourselves? 35-9 the score. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back to Greenville, Tennessee. Our first trip, an Oak Ridge Wildcat football team here for the first time since 1947. Wildcats trail in this all-time series. They lost games in 1947 and 1948. Won the only postseason meeting. That came in 1991. The Wildcats 1-2 in the series. Had 10:35 to get back in this ball game. They've got it now second down, 13 yards to go. Jackson in the backfield. The Wildcats also have Hundley back there. It's going to be Kendall cutting outside. Kendall Jackson moves the ball to the 25, down to the Green Devil 23-yard line. It's a nice gain on the play, but it's going to be third and long.
Yeah, third and long there as Kendall made a nice cut at the line of scrimmage to avoid the defensive end for the Green Devils. One thing that we saw back on that play there, it was also Jai Hundley. Jai came back in and was the motion back, the pitch man on that look there that the Wildcats just provided.
Wildcats are playing with a tight end tonight. His name is Marcus Melton. He's a senior. Wildcats have Elijah Rogers in the ball game, and Hundley, they're going to drift off wide to the right. Brandon Hayward is a receiver to the left. The lone running back is Kendall. It is third down, 8 yards to go. Hayden Tarwater to pass. Looks, fires, end zone. Hundley, incomplete. Well overthrown. And it'll be fourth down facing the Wildcats. Fourth down and about 7.5 yards to go.
And on that play, you had Brandon Hayward basically in one-on-one coverage, man-on-man coverage on the Greenville sideline. Brandon ran a drag route basically all the way across the field. I believe if Hayden may have looked underneath and checked that ball down, Brandon could have run for the first down and been able to pick it up. But either way, good thing that Hayden did there is he threw it out of bounds where either Jai was going to be able to get it or nobody was.
Fourth down, 7 yards to go. The Wildcats going for it. The ball's at the 24-yard line. They need to get to the 15-yard line. Down to 7 seconds on the play clock. Hayden back to pass. Has time. Now breaks down. Fires a pass. It's going to be incomplete. tough call there. There is a flag down on the play. Hit Brandon Hayward in the hands. That would have been a first down. It is going to be a legal procedure against the Wildcats. Declined, and they'll take over on downs. That would have been a first down right there. Brandon, it was a little high on the pass, but if you ask Brandon, he probably should have caught it.
I think the legal procedures there on the Wildcats may have been an ineligible man downfield. I saw Ethan Hewitt probably was about 7 yards downfield. He was at the sticks about where Brandon would have caught that pass as well.
So they're going to take over on downs. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 24-yard line. 9:38 to play in the ball game. 35-9. I have seen progress with the Oak Ridge Wildcats here, James.
Absolutely, and they're keeping drives alive and sustaining them.
Here comes the blitz once again. Handoff to the back, and he is going to be tackled by Ethan Hewitt. Might be a horse collar. I think that's what the Greenville fans wanted. I think he grabbed him from the backside and slung him down. This has been a well-officiated ball game, James.
Yeah, and I don't really have a problem with that call there. The horse collar 2 years ago, it is not only just grabbing the horse collar anymore, you actually have to pull backwards. So if a player grabs the horse collar and lets go and releases and re-grabs somewhere else, then that is not a horse collar. If you grab and pull backwards, then that is considered a horse collar.
It's a gain of 4 on the play. Second down, 6 yards to go. They're moving left to right here. 9 minutes to play in the ball game. 35-9 from Greenville. Quarterback's going to run the ball himself, and he is going to be met by Jacob Bourbon right at the 29-yard line. Not a whole lot of room there. Marcus Melton there as well. It'll be third down, 4 yards to go for Greenville. Here in our first meeting since 1991, the Wildcats have Carnes, Dobbins-Bennett, and Campbell County. Wildcats, then the season will be over. The Wildcats still in good shape in the region. This is not a region ball game, obviously. What's important, the Wildcats will be in the playoffs if they win next week against Carnes.
Yeah, and winning the next 2 games is really important. I think the Wildcats would honestly like another shot at the Powell Panthers. I think that, I'm not saying that you can beat Powell, but we're going to play probably a lot closer game if we can sustain drives like we have tonight. Hopefully we'll get a chance to prove that in the playoffs.
Third down, 4 yards to go. Tight formation for the Green Devils. Play is halted, and a timeout is asked for by Greenville. 8:08 to play. Let's hold it right here. James, what do you think of the facilities here?
I mean, the facilities are really cool, and I think one of the things that make it look really cool is you have the school off to our right over here, and they've obviously made a lot of Greenville over there. But in the background, it's kind of a really cool setup. If you've ever been to kind of Colonial Williamsburg, maybe it kind of has that very similar brick-ish look all around in the back there of the houses and of the lights lit up. So it's a really neat facility and really cool location.
And driving by here, we went by President Andrew Johnson's house, which is right down the road from here.
You did, and I believe you saw him standing, leaned up in the corner, waving at everybody as we passed.
Yeah, you know, he's not looking too good right now, but we did pass his house. And Davy Crockett was from Greenville, too. A lot of historical significance to this town.
Well, and technically, you know, this is a different state. This is Franklin, what would have been the 13th state before it was Tennessee.
Are you a history teacher?
Slightly.
The 29-yard line. Handoff goes, pitch goes number 5. He is hit and dropped. It'll be no gain on the play. It'll be fourth down, and they'll be forced to punt, I assume, with 8 minutes to play in the ball game.
Great flow and great pursuit there by the Wildcats, who basically on that, it was an end around, yes, but it was a little bit of a pitch forward, so that technically counts as a pass for Quillen on that play to Dabbs, number 5, thank you. And the Wildcats were not tricked or fooled by that at all. One thing that you want to make sure is that you protect the back out of the backfield. In that case, that would have been the quarterback on that.
35-9 Greenville, 7:33 to play in the ball game. Clock is moving. Play clock is down to 8. They're taking a lot of time. High snap, lots of pressure. Kick is away. Very short. Very short. It almost hits Rogers in the back. It's going to take a good bounce. It's going to roll all the way down to the Oak Ridge 32-yard line, and that is where Oak Ridge will have it. First down, 10 yards to go. One thing that I have seen improvement in, the offensive line is doing a really good job blocking tonight. They're giving Hayden some time, and more importantly, they're giving some running lanes for the running backs of Oak Ridge to run the ball against a big, rugged, fast Greenville defense.
Well, and you know, I think the Wildcats really would love to have that first quarter back. I think if they could have what they're doing currently, and run that in the first quarter and continue to sustain some of those drives and keep Greenville's offense off the field, I think this game would be much closer. But I don't think many people gave Oak Ridge this close of a chance in this game anyway.
35-9 the score. The Wildcats. Tarwater hands it off to Rogers. Rogers with blockers. Cuts it across the 35 to the 40 to the 45-yard line. Officially, they're going to say he went out before the 45 at the 43 for the Wildcats on offense.
He'll be a good addition, and he had a lot of blocking, as we talked about. The receivers do a great job of blocking for one another, as the two receivers on that side picked up the corner, and I believe what they run is a nickel back. Greenville kind of runs a little bit of an interesting formation here. They have one stand-up end and 3 down linemen.
First down, 10 yards to go. Tarwater is going to hand it off left side. Dozier to the outside, 50, 45, and he is brought down at the Greenville 45-yard line. That should be enough for another 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down.
Really nice vision there by DeJavis, as he basically, it was almost like a counter play, because DeJavis took 2 steps inside and realized that it was coming. There was space outside. He bounced it outside, got about 11 yards there on that play. And I'll say this, David, I don't know if it's Greenville's substitutions or what, but they look a little bit gassier on defense.
Good to see Truett Tux. I think we talked about that. He was hurt earlier. He's on the line for the Wildcats. That's one of our linemen we've gotten back because of injury. 1st and 10. The Wildcats. Rogers comes in motion once again. Here comes the handoff to Elijah Rogers. Elijah Rogers gains about 3. Got pummeled at the end of it. Moves the ball to the Green Devil 42-yard line. This Greenville team is a disciplined football team, James Branson.
Disciplined football team, and they tackle and flow to the ball really well, as that play was the same play as 2 plays ago, right before DeJavis' run, where the Wildcats had 2 receivers to their right side as they're going into the end zone, and Elijah Rogers basically just takes that jet sweep handoff and gets behind his blockers there.
35-9 the score. The Wildcats trailing 6 minutes to play in the ball game, and what has been a fast ball game. From left to right, handoff goes to Hundley this time. He's across the 40, down to the 37. The Wildcats running the football, getting ready for the Carnes Beavers next Thursday night, 7 o'clock at Carnes.
Our offense continues to evolve, David, is we're putting a lot of our receivers in motions, and some of that is a decoy, as we saw there as Hundley took the handoff, but maybe hopefully put those receivers into motions and try to hit them on a seam route or a quick slant route.
It's 3rd down, 4 yards to go. The ball at the Greenville 38-yard line. In motion comes Andrew once again, this time from the right side to the left. Handoff goes Dozier. That's another 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down as he powers his way across the 35-yard line up to the 34. Stops the clock with 5:10 to play. Another good run. Wildcat offensive yards are going to be doubled what they had last week.
Easily
maybe tripled.
Yeah, easily. And it's not even a question, because the offense has been able to, like we said, sustain drives, pick up first downs, and, run at the line of scrimmage, run at the middle of the line, defensive line of the Green Devils, like DeJavis is running with a lot of power right now.
Hundley in the backfield as well for the Wildcats. 4:45 to play, 1st and 10. Here comes Hundley moving the ball, spins out of a tackle, but goes down when the second guy hits him. It'll be perhaps a loss of a yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down, and officially they're going to say a loss of about a half a yard, maybe a full yard. We'll call it 2nd and 11.
A little bit of a unique look there for the Wildcats as Tarwater reversed out and handed it off to Hundley, but which you may not have known is that he faked a throw out here to Brandon Hayward, who is in single one-on-one coverage, and hopefully the Wildcats will come back to that.
At the grit right at the 35-yard line. Wildcats still keeping it on the ground here. Oak Ridge fans came in pretty good numbers. I'm really kind of pleased, actually, with the numbers. 3:49 to play here, 35-9 the score.
And one thing that's positive about DeJavis as well is that he's a sophomore, so the Wildcats are going to have him for the rest of this season, obviously, and 2 more years to come, which is going to be really impressive, not only for him, but for the Wildcat offense as well.
Wildcats taking some time here. I know they want to make it a quick ball game, and I guess basically they're just getting ready for next week, honestly, or I probably would have thrown the ball by now. 3rd down, 10 yards to go. Here comes Hundley once again. This time Hundley moves the ball forward for a gain of about 6 or 7 yards. It'll be 4th down and about 3. 3:12 to play in the ball game. 35-9 is our score.
Yeah, and it looks like the Wildcat offense is going to stay out for 4th down. You know, some people may be upset that the Wildcats are down by this much and they're not getting some subs in. I disagree with that. I think this offense needs as much time on the field in live action as possible in order to continue to progress throughout the season.
Right, I agree with that. What the games that matter from here on out are Karnes and Campbell County. Those are the only games that matter. The record doesn't matter because everybody's 0-0 when the playoffs begin.
You're absolutely right, and it looks like the Wildcats are going to substitute
5,
a couple people in
4.
here. Xavier James.
3 seconds on the play clock, and Dozier is hit in the backfield and dropped at the 30-yard line. So the Wildcats go for it on 4th down and run the ball. 2.5 minutes to play, but I agree with what you said. I think what Coach Hodge and the offensive staff and Coach Gaddis are looking forward are, this offense has only been in place 4 days. They've had 4 days of practice, and yesterday is just a walkthrough.
And, to do something like that in the middle of the season is almost crazy, to switch what you've been doing for so long. But in order to
it wasn't working, so.
In order to make adjustments and continue to win and give yourself a shot in the playoffs, you've got to make those adjustments.
35-9 is our score here. 2.5 minutes to play. Let's see if there's some movement across the line here. Let's see who moved first. Nope, it's going to be a timeout asked for by the Wildcats. And I can see Coach Miner. He is not happy at all.
You can see him because I can hear him.
Yeah, I can hear him and see him. Evidently, I'm not going to call the young man's name out, but he's not happy with him.
He is not very happy with him. But to go back to our point about the offense, you have to make changes like this to be able to continue to progress. And the offense is, as we've said, the line looks a lot better. We are blocking. And having 4 days to do this, you don't have a lot of plays that you put in, and you can see some of the wrinkles that the Wildcats can probably develop coming off of this with some of the fakes that they're running.
And I like the fact that Rogers is getting a little bit more accustomed to the offense too.
And the multiple different backs. There are different ways of running offense. You don't have to use the same backs over and over. You can use multiple backs, as we've even seen Xavier James in the backfield.
And it's good to have Truett Tex back with the team too. That's a lineman that's been hurt most of the season.
Give you more depth.
It'll be 1st down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 30-yard line. Hand off to the back, and he moves the ball forward for a gain of about 6 or 7. The Wildcats still have Brandon Hayward, Izzy Mitchell in the ballgame. Price Davis. Looks like J.K. Morgan's coming out of the ballgame. The Wildcats getting a new player into the contest for the Wildcats. Xavier James is in there, but they're also getting somebody else in the ballgame, and that is Elijah Bradley. 2:04 to play. Elijah's going to be on the...
He's a sophomore as well.
Right. 2nd down, 7 yards to go, 1:55 to play. Wildcats showing blitz, and ball carrier is the quarterback, and he moves the ball for a 1st down. Got tripped up at the last moment out there. See if the Wildcats get some more guys in. Kendall's still playing defense. The Wildcats have Kelly, Bourbon, Schneider. You got a feel for guys like Ethan Hewitt and Schneider. They play every down of the game.
And it's one thing that's kind of interesting about them is Ethan moves around a lot, not only on defense, but on offense as well. Ethan can play both defensive insides, strong or weak. But noticing the Wildcat offense has kind of rotated their line some depending on the play call. 1:24
to play in the game, 35-9 Greenville. And the Wildcats showing blitz again. Here comes the handoff to the back, and Elijah Bradley grabs him and tackles him at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of about 6 or 7. Ticking it on down. Greenville's going to win this ball game, but I am pleased. I know it sounds crazy. Like you said earlier, it's 35-9. That doesn't sound good.
Improvement in the football team, but you've also got to recognize that Greenville may be the best team in the state of Tennessee, and the way that they run their offense when they were clicking full speed was pretty impressive.
Yes, very impressive. I go back to those Riverdale teams. I don't remember any faster team, and they're in the victory formation here.
All over the field.
Right. James, you're going to head down to the field there and talk to Coach Gaddis. We'll get Mike over here for the scoring summary. The final score has been posted up on the scoreboard. They didn't score their usual 54. They are averaging 54 points a ball game, this Greenville team. Wildcats held them to 35. They win it. Greenville does 35-9. The two teams are about to shake hands. And while we have a moment, let's get Mike Sheehan in here with the scoring summary.
Thank you, David. Although it's been a very rough night for the Wildcats, as the Greenville Green Devils are a very talented team indeed. Start the night off with, in the first quarter, with 10 minutes and 11 seconds in the first quarter, Greenville quarterback Brady Quillen threw a 31-yard touchdown to Jacoby Gillespie, put the Green Devils up 6-0. Then the excellent kicker for the Green Devils, Cooper Graham, came in, kicked the extra point, and the Green Devils led 7-0. Then with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first quarter, Oak Ridge's Efren Rodriguez kicked a 44-yard field goal with 3 points, and they trailed 7-3. But with just 2:05 left in the first quarter, Brady Quillen threw a 17-yard pass to Price for the Green Devils and put the Green Devils up 13-3. And the extra point by Cooper Graham was good, and it was 14-3. Then in the second quarter, Mason Munger ran it in from 2 yards out, and the Green Devils went up 20-3 with 8 minutes and 1 second left in the second quarter. Cooper Graham came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Green Devils led the Wildcats 21-3. Then with 38 seconds left in the second quarter, right before the half, Efren Rodriguez attempted another field goal from 34 yards out. Regretfully, it went wide right, and the Wildcats did not score. But unbelievably, the Green Devils drove the ball all the way down the field to the 11-yard line, where Brady Quillen, the quarterback, faked a handoff to the running back off right tackle, and he took off on left tackle, untouched into the end zone for an 11-yard touchdown. And the Green Devils went up 27-3. Then Cooper Graham came in and kicked the ball between the uprights again, and the score was 28-3. Then in the third quarter, the Wildcats finally got on the touchdown side of the ball when Jarvis Dozier ran one in from 6 yards out after an excellent drive by the Wildcats to get the ball down to the 6. The Jarvis Wildcats on the board for 6, and the Wildcats had 9-28 for the Green Devils. Regretfully, the extra point by Efren Rodriguez was blocked, so the score remained 28-9 Green Devils. Then with 3:02 left in the third quarter, the last score of the night, again quarterback Brady Quillen from 11 yards out put the Green Devils up 34-9. Cooper Graham again came in and kicked the ball between the uprights for the final score of 35-9, as there was no scoring in the fourth quarter. Just a really good football team from Greenville. Can't take anything away from these guys. It's easy to see how.
I was going to say, but the good thing is, honestly, and Mark, or actually James and I were talking about this, I saw a lot of improvement on the offensive line for the Wildcats tonight.
I do. I agree with that summation. I do. They really made some great plays, David. They had that drive they got down to the 6-yard line where Dozier ran it in. You know, they were pushing them back all the way down, and you know, Tarwater was executing his passes very well, giving him time to throw the ball. They're definitely improving, David. There's no question of that.
You know, Coach Gaddis said to me on the radio pregame show tonight, he said that on paper, we are not going to win this ball game. The goal, though, we've got 2 region games left. Next week at Carnes and 2 weeks at home against Campbell County. The Wildcats win next week, they're in the playoffs. If they win the following week, they host a playoff ball game. So this Greenville team is a good test. Probably, you know, if we only had 4 days of practice to get the offense ready here.
Right.
But for the most part, I saw the improvement, and I think it's going to help a great deal.
I totally agree with that summation, David. I really do. The Wildcats are not out of this. These region games are what count the most. I mean, it's a disappointing loss, but you got to think about the quality of the teams we've been playing. We have played some really good teams. And, I'm not ashamed of the Wildcats whatsoever at all. I'm still with them 100%, and I can't wait to get over to Carnes next week to the land of the Beavers and see what we can do with Carnes.
I think a lot of people tend to forget, we played for the state championship last year. It's not like Oak Ridge football is, rock bottom right now. We lost a ton of players to graduation, some very good players to graduation, and we only have 10 seniors on this particular team.
I know. That's something that, you don't really realize until you're knowledgeable like you are and see the roster and see the depletion you have from year to year. I see James is down on the field. He's about ready to do the interview. Take it away, James.
Let me give a quick shout out to my children. I'm sure many of other people's children are listening. Emmett and Avery, I appreciate you guys listening, as well as Ashley, my wife. Coach, obviously not the result that you wanted tonight, but one thing that we noticed on the broadcast is we saw a lot of progress, and I think this may be the fewest points that Greenville scored this season.
They've scored 35 a couple of times, I think, against Dobbins Bennett. I think they beat Dobbins Bennett 35-7, maybe one more time. But, the thing that I'm most pleased about is offensively, we ran the football against maybe the best defense that we'll face. Powell was very good, but we were a different team tonight. We blocked better up front than we blocked all year. We ran the ball hard. We need to pick up some things in the passing game. But, what I was really impressed with was offensively, our line blocking, running the football, no penalties to speak of, maybe one late in the game, no turnovers. We've been plagued with turnovers and penalties, and we eliminated those. And if you eliminate those, you put yourself in a pretty good position for the next 3 weeks. We just got to keep getting better. Defensively, we gave up some big plays, which really isn't our trademark. We didn't tackle well. I think their guys had a lot to do with that, but we have to get back and play the defense that we're capable of playing. But once we do that, and we will, with this offensive improvement, that's after 4 days of basically a new offense. And when I say a new offense, we're doing everything different. We're calling everything different. We're running new plays. That's 4 days of practice. So you figure 4 more days, hopefully, will show another marked improvement.
Coach, and you mentioned that, and one of the things that I noticed that was really nice to see, obviously, was your senior leadership. I was watching the guys as they were standing there, and I noticed Ethan Hewitt. Ethan Hewitt was basically saying he was proud of not the result, but the way that we fought and that we never gave up at any point in this game.
Well, number one, this team is I'd say they're great. They're a great football team, no matter the classification. They can compete with most anybody. And Ethan is he's kind of our emotional leader. And I think it's important for our players to believe in what we're doing. And Ethan, being an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman, but especially right now an offensive lineman with what we just went through the last week, for him to step up and say the things he said, that's pretty meaningful. I can say everything in the world, but when it comes from one of their peers or one of our leaders, it means a lot.
Obviously means a lot. And one of the things that we kind of noticed tonight with the new offense and everything, you got a couple guys going both ways, or actually a few more guys going both ways. I believe Brian Kelly and Jacob Irvin and even Marcus Melton all had a spot at the tight end, but they're taking rotations at linebacker as well. And, there's really not much of a deficit between the three of them at that tight end position, and you're getting breaks on defense.
Definitely. We haven't played Bourbon and Kelly all year on offense, and didn't really, where they play, we didn't have any call to play them, but we're going to play with a tight end now, and they're prototypical for what we want to do at tight end. They're both tough. They're physical. They're not huge, but they did a pretty good job. And as you said, Melton, same thing with Marcus Melton, did a good job, and I think Darren Osborne has a chance to get in there. I don't think he played tonight at tight end, but he's in that rotation as well, moving forward.
Coach, you mentioned in your huddle there with the team, Carnes, Campbell County, DB, the last 3 games of the season that we got to finish out, 2 of them are huge. As you mentioned, with region placement and getting to the playoffs and getting hot at the right time.
No question about it. Getting hot at the right time. Last year's team proved that. We weren't a very good football team last year in the regular season until about week 7 or 8, and then we got on a roll. I think we have an opportunity to get hot at the right time now. We've got to beat Carnes, and we've got to beat Campbell County to finish second in the region, and we need to do it impressively. We need to play the defense that we're accustomed to playing. Continue with the offensive improvement. Our offensive line leaps and bounds this week from the last 6. I was really thrilled with the way they played. Not that they were great or perfect, but we had some holes against, like I said, a great defensive front. Nobody's run the ball much on this team. We may run it more than anybody did all year so far. So, you got to be pleased with that. But these next 2 games, these next 3 games are huge. 2 of them absolutely critical.
Coach, short week coming up. Obviously, we got Carnes on Thursday night at Carnes, I believe.
Yes, yeah, it's Thursday night TV game.
And the short week, I know that's kind of been something that we've had a little bit more recently, 3 days of practice. Obviously, you'll have your Sunday meetings and whatnot. What's it going to take to, obviously deal with Deshaun Bishop, one of the best running backs so far statistically in the nation, and, hopefully come out with another victory?
Well, last I heard, he was the leading rusher in the nation, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, he carries the ball 40, 50 times a game. He's a great running back. They figure if they go give it to him 40 or 50, he's going to break 4 or 5, and he's rushing for just under 300 yards a game. Hopefully they don't throw the ball very well, because if they throw it well and run it with Bishop, everybody's in trouble. But, I'm sure we'll have a good defensive plan for them. Coach Miner always does a great job with that offensively. If we just pick up where we left off and continue to get better, I like our chances. But Bishop and company will be, Bishop is the company. But Deshaun Bishop will be a huge challenge for our defense.
Coach, we'll speak to you on Wednesday night on Coach's Corner, and we'll hopefully look forward to a victorious game on Thursday.
Thank you.
David, we will send it back up to you. That was head coach of the Wildcats, Joe Gaddis, after the Greenville game.
Thanks a lot, James. Appreciate that. We're going to take a quick timeout, send it back to Brian Bennett. When we come back, hopefully Mark and Sean will have the final game statistics. 35-9 is our final score. We'll be back to Greenville following this 4-minute timeout.
the old water days when you had to get all the commercial cans. Marquez back here at Greenville High School, where the Wildcats fall to the Greenville Green Devils by a final score of 35-9. Looking at the first half, or the final statistics rather, Oak Ridge led on the ground by DeJovis Dozier. He had 37 yards on 9 carries. Kendall Jackson also with 37 yards on 9 carries, each averaging 4.1 yards per carry. Jay Hunley had 31 yards on 8 carries. Peyton Sharp, he had a 20-yard carry. Elijah Rogers had 19 yards on 3 carries. Xavier James had 3 carries, netting 1 yard, and then Hayden Tarwater, 2 carries, netting minus 11 yards. So, as a team, the Wildcats rushed the ball 35 times, totaling 134 yards on the ground. That's an average of 3.8 yards per carry. Through the air, Hayden Tarwater, quarterbacking for the Wildcats, he was 8 of 13 for 46 yards. He had no interceptions tonight. Receiving for the Wildcats, Brandon Hayward led all receivers for the Wildcats. 19 yards on 2 receptions. Elijah Rogers had 13 yards on 3 receptions. Marcus Milton had a 12-yard reception. Jay Hunley with a 4-yard reception. And then Bryce Davis had a reception for minus 2 yards. So as a team, the Wildcats had 134 yards on 35 carries on the ground. They had 46 yards through the air on 8 receptions for a total offense tonight of 180 yards. Wildcats earning 11 first downs in the ballgame. Not penalized one time tonight, so very impressive part of the Wildcats. Very disciplined game tonight, especially after last week where the Wildcats had so many penalties. Now looking at the Greenville Green Devils, they were led on the ground by Damian Short, number 15. He had 15 rushes for 174 yards. He averaged 11.7 yards per carry. His long was 62. Brady Quinlan, the quarterback for the Green Devils, he had 10 carries for 54 yards. Emmanuel Dixon had 4 carries for 23 yards. Mason Judger had 3 carries for 20 yards, and then Adaje Dabbs had 1 carry for minus 1 yard. So as a team, the Green Devils rushed the ball 33 times, totaling 270 yards on the ground. That's an average of 8.2 yards per carry as a team. Very impressive. Quarterback for Greenville, Brady Quinlan, he was 5 of 6 for 116 yards. He also had no interceptions on the night. Receiving for the Green Devils, they were led by Jacoby Gillespie. He had 55 yards on 2 receptions. His long was 34 yards tonight. Damian Short, 1 reception for 39 yards. Jaden Stevenson had a 17-yard reception. And then Mason Laws rounds out the receiving corps for the Green Devils. He had a 5-yard reception. So as a team, Greenville rushed the ball 33 times for 270 yards on the ground. They had 116 yards through the air on 5 receptions for a total offense tonight, 386 yards. Greenville had 12 first downs in the ballgame. They were penalized 6 times, totaling 55 yards. So now looking at the team side by side. On the ground, rushing yards, Oak Ridge 134, Greenville 270. Through the air, Oak Ridge had 46 yards, Greenville 116. Total offense, Oak Ridge with 180 total offensive yards, Greenville 386. First downs was very even. Oak Ridge had 11 in the ball game. Greenville had 12. And penalties, Oak Ridge no penalties tonight. Greenville 6 penalties for 55 yards. David?
Thanks a lot, Mark. Appreciate you and Shauna, as usual. Not a bad drive up here. James, I didn't hear what Coach Geddes had to say down there, but I guess the gist of it, what you told me was disappointed in the result, but pleased with the progress.
Well, and anytime that you're going to play an opponent like this who is competing for a lot ahead of you and in a different classification, which is important to note, and a really well-coached team is going to be difficult, but it's a good test for the Wildcats. You know, Coach Gaddis mentioned that this is something that you would rather face now than face in the playoffs, and getting hot at the right time and, you know, winning out the rest of the games is going to lead to success in the playoffs.
Let's close it out here. It was kind of a quick ball game. It's not even 10 o'clock here. We've had some that are 11 o'clock in home ball games, and we got a little bit of a drive to go. We appreciate everybody who listened to our broadcast. We appreciate all of our sponsors each and every week who have been with us all season long. We appreciate you very, very much, and we appreciate all of you who are listening to us on FM 92.7, FM 94.7. Our camera personnel tonight, we had Andy Hudson up top. We had down on the field, we had a full crew here. We had Lee Wexler, Christian, Rosas Rodriguez, Drew Thomas, and Neo Tate. Mark and Shauna Hayes did our stats. Mike Sheehan was with us as well. Brian Bennett back in the studios. Once again, our final score, the Wildcats defeated tonight 35-9 by the Greenville Green Devils. Our next broadcast of Oak Ridge High School football will be coming up Thursday night. That'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff against the Carnes Beavers at Carnes, our last road game of the year. For all the people I mentioned before, for James Branson, this is David Clary saying so long, everybody.